Maybe this is our next career.
I feel like I need
mic singers.
Will you do me a favor? Will you pass me those Jolly Ranchers? I really have vocal fry. It just is what.
Okay, get ready.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I don't want that. Red, white, and no.
Red, white, and boo.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is. I do. I have vocal fry.
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
A little bit.
It's not like fry, like vocal fry is like this. But we're getting there. We're nearing. We're prairie dogging with that vocal fry.
But it's one of the hot topics. I want to know what these hot topics are. Let's see.
I'm trying to. Oh, does it sound better? No. Cool.
Well, I mean,
you just put it in.
Just put it in. I can't really.
Have you even swallowed?
Coat
Well,
the
when
throat.
I put it in, Betsy's like, "Ready?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know. Do I sound okay?" I'm okay with sounding like I don't have a voice, but I'm not okay with
It does not sound like
not
that.
sound like that.
But give it a few swallows. Let us know how you feel.
I don't want to.
I feel like this should be part of the cold open, just from the sexual innuendos that come off of it.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We're 2
hi,
minutes
guys.
and 9
It's-
seconds into the recording.
You didn't let me do my guys. Hi, my fake voice, my phone voice.
Yeah.
Now they know.
98.7.
Oh, my phone's gonna
Did
die.
you choke?
I am not prepared today.
Okay, stand by.
That is your toxic trait.
Not being prepared.
No, your phone. Every time you send me something, I don't even look at what you're sending me. I look at your battery percentage, and it's always in the red. It's because you just like to
Well, it's
live
technically
on
always in the yellow.
yeah. I guess it is
I'm
on
an
the
asshole.
yellow.
What can I say?
But listen, I don't know how you operate like that. I can't do that.
Guys, well, executive producer who has easy access to my phone charger is grabbing that for me because apparently now I know that it's a toxic trait of mine to always be on 1%. I'm going to explain that I still don't have a voice. It could be from all the crying and screaming I'm doing like Bethany Frankel. But really what it is that I just can't get a leg up because I keep doing the podcast. And I went on vocal rest the other day with my ginger. And tea.
Not me.
No. With my,
Your tea. Yes. Yeah.
Well, it was like when I met Alicia Moore,
Okay.
who one of her writers was getting ginger, and she introduced herself as Alicia Moore. And guys, that's Pink.
Oh,
for
yeah,
anybody
yeah,
else who's
yeah,
out there.
yeah.
Let me just tell you that I thought she was going to introduce herself as Pink to me. She did not. It was Alicia Moore.
Was she
and so I
cool?
had to have all these. Oh my gosh, she was amazing.
Yeah.
And you get what you get.
You think.
No.
Like-
she is what you think.
Yeah.
No.
What you see is what you get.
Thank you.
Guys, we're also medicated too.
Yeah, I'm on 5 out of it. So I went on vocal rest because I don't want to have vocal fry. But here's the thing. Anytime I do my best to make sure that you guys aren't hearing absolute garbage, y'all love to tell me that I sound like shit. So, I'm going to stop now before I get ahead of myself because there's going to be 20 fucking reviews that are like, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 stars. You sound like shit. And so I'm just going to stop over ahead. Okay?
I love it.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I love a good rasp.
I
my
mean,
favorite.
I don't.
I do.
Not when I'm getting bukkake all over my face about it in the fucking reviews on Apple.
Are people still talking to stop it? Okay.
Yeah, underbites, fat ass. Oh wait,
Yeah, but that was one
underbites,
person. Have we gotten more?
No,
Okay.
now I sound like an asshole. Now I sound like I can't get over it, which is certainly not
Well,
the case.
I mean,
But I am on my second dose of Ozempic, so here we
Okay.
go.
thank you, listen. Yeah, the sponsor, the listeners.
Yeah, guys. Anyway, enough about that. Guys, we're back.
Back.
And we're here to talk about RHONY.
All right.
And, you know,
Wah, wah.
I'm kidding.
did y'all hear that?
You're looking at
That was
eats. I
executive-
didn't even hear what.
That was executive producer who had this.
Oh, late night.
Like what? Biscuits and gravy type of.
Yeah, was that a good? Mm-hmm.
It was a middle of the road.
Oh.
I have mixed feelings.
Okay.
Well, so if is middle of the road, what's the high road? What's the low road?
The inflection.
Yeah.
It's all about the inflection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So executive producer doesn't typically join us on our RHONY recaps, but
This is true.
we're so bored we figured why not add a third?
Yeah. Exactly. We got to spice it up. Oh my God. We got to spice it up, and what a way to do that with a true New Yorker.
Yeah, triad, thruple.
Yeah.
The throuple.
Yeah.
We're a little bored. We went out a third, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look,
We don't want to get divorced, so why not? We'll add a third, Jessel.
Yep.
Look, while
teasing.
I am able to be here, I'll hop in whenever. I happen to be.
Okay, she sounds like a priest giving somebody their last rites at the hospital. Well, I'm able to be here.
Well, I'm able to be here. No,
Well,
but
it would be a rabbi. My bad.
yes. How dare you?
My bad. It would not be a priest. How dare I?
Sacrilege.
I mean, it's pretty close to a priest.
They're not that far off.
It's the Old Testament and the New Testament.
Yeah, it's just the Jesus thing.
It's just the Jesus thing.
Just the
And on
Jesus
the
thing.
third day, he rose again, almighty in his glory. That's how I feel from this fucking vocal fry. I'm
The
waiting.
Episcopalian
waiting
in
for
me
that.
doesn't even know. I don't even care.
Episcopalian's like, shut the
You're like,
fuck
who's
up.
Episcopalians? Like,
What the
who's
fuck?
Jesus? Who?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Jesus Christ, what's
Yeah,
going on?
Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah, I know
Broadway
that.
play.
Yeah.
Starring Treat Williams.
Oh my god.
R.I.P.
Guys, I'm on
He-
one today. It's the Ativan.
Well, but it's pumping you up.
It is pumping me up. Well, it's because I've just given up on life, guys.
Yeah.
Look at the current climate we're in, you know?
Yeah.
You know how I know I've given up on life? Well, actually, before I get into why I've given up on life, I think we should just get into it, yeah?
Oh,
do
okay.
it.
Let's do it.
Hey, y'all. Welcome to Reality Bites, the podcast where we'll deep dive into this week's buzziest reality TV and pop culture happenings.
I'm Betsy, and while I may be 9 to 5 by day, I'm a reality connoisseur by night.
And I'm JJ, a reality TV producer by trade, but my favorite pastime is dishing unfiltered dirt and behind-the-scenes scoop. We'll tackle the biggest and best water cooler moments of the week through an insider lens you won't find anywhere else.
Buckle up, buttercups.
Please don't tell me it's about Tom.
It's about Tom.
This is Reality Bites. What I was going to say is before I get into why I want to give up on life, and I feel like this is kind of apropos, but Caitlin Collins, she's a political analyst on CNN.
Yes, know
Okay.
her.
You guys may be familiar with her, Betsy.
No.
Long shot.
Well, we know our audience.
Touche.
Yeah, so I will say that I grew up with Caitlin Collins. I grew up with her. I really started watching her because she became a little bit more prevalent in the 2020 election.
yes.
Okay. And she was a political analyst that worked on CNN, still works on CNN. She has her own show called The Caitlin Collins Show. Executive producer and I are very familiar. We have a friend who works in politics and we're in it. We get it. We get the machine.
Totally.
Right? So
Yeah,
check
as
this
fucked up
out.
as that is.
What?
Yeah, so there's two things. There's one for Betsy and there's one for executive producer.
Okay.
The first one I'm going and wanting to tell you is that she went on a date
With-
recently.
Oh, God.
Shep Rose.
No.
Wow.
No,
She
really?
did.
Oh, my God. Caitlin.
They were out on a date.
Wow.
Allegedly, an onlooker heard them talking about what his feelings were, about Austin Kroll and what could have happened this next season that we're going to be getting in the next couple of months with Taylor Ann Green and Olivia and Austin and all that. And I'm kind of beside myself because if you know Caitlin Collins, for our listeners out there, doesn't it kind of feel a little, it kind of fits, it makes sense, but it also seems to not make sense.
Also very, very
I have to look
odd.
her up because I'm sure I will recognize her.
What are you thinking?
I mean,
Are you surprised?
well, that first photo I looked at,
I mean, what are you thinking, EP?
I don't know what to think. Like
Neither
on
do
one
I.
right? Like on one hand, I'm like,
I'm into it.
I'm into it and I can see it.
And I'm a little surprised, though.
But I'm also a little surprised. I think I'm more surprised from her end.
I think that's what it is. And it's not that we don't think that Shep is an eligible bachelor.
Well, no, it's not that we don't think that he's an eligible bachelor. And Shep is also incredibly intelligent.
Oh, yeah.
And very knowledgeable
The best
on
sparring partner in conversation.
the best sparring partner. And he's very knowledgeable on
All
current
things.
events and
Yeah.
politics and literature and all of these things. Very well educated, he's a big reader, all of these things.
You see what you get on the show, but there are, I would say, hallmarks and caveats to him that we don't get to see like that on the show.
Yes. And he has, look, not everything on the show has been great. obviously. But having known him personally for a long time,
Mhm.
and our listeners know that I've worked on Southern Charm, you know, I
I too have worked on Southern Charm. I'm willing to admit that.
and there we go. We both know Shep.
Yeah, we're slowly just,
Revealing.
we're slowly revealing. We're slowly
Yeah.
revealing.
Mhm.
Yes.
You've worked on Southern Charm as well. We both know Shep. Shep, sure, there are parts of him that you see that are shitty, but there are also a lot of parts of him that he is.
Wonderful.
He's a great guy, and it's like I can see it, but also I'm just a little floored.
Yeah.
I'm
He
just a
needs
little
He
floored.
needs an even sparring partner. Like he
does.
gives it and he wants you to give it back to him, which
Right.
I'm capable of doing.
You are very
Yeah.
good at giving it back to him.
Well, okay. Upon looking at her, I realized I don't know who the fuck she is. I thought maybe I would be like,
yeah.
oh, I recognize, but I don't. Because I don't know anything about this woman, and I have to base myself on y'all's reactions because I can't tell if like you're excited about this or you're horrified because maybe you don't
Not
like.
horrified.
Not horrified.
Do we like her? Do
Oh,
we
we
like
like-
Caitlyn?
love
Okay.
Caitlyn
We
Collins.
like
Okay.
Caitlyn Collins.
Yeah, I think
We
she's
like
great.
Caitlyn Collins.
Are we
It was just
thinking
kind of
that
a shock.
she seems a little bit above him? Maybe.
It's not above. It's just kind of
No.
shocking. Like, I don't know. Would you imagine like Hoda, dating like you know what I
Craig?
mean? Craig. That's what I mean. It's like it's just kind of odd. Like
Oh, Hoda.
very much in the same way that 15 years ago we wouldn't see reality stars and celebrity
Sure.
actors,
Sure.
thespians, if you will,
Yeah, yeah,
cross
yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Now we're kind of used to that a little bit.
Yeah.
Now we're in the ripe old age of politics and reality, kind of.
Yeah.
I think
I
that's what
don't
it is, though.
know.
My initial like, what the fuck, is more just that kind of common assumption that there's no
Construct.
commingling. The
Yes.
construct. Thank you.
That's what it is.
the
Crossing
commingling
over.
between like a reality star
Yeah.
and someone who's
A
in news
serious
and politics.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is that Shep can be, and I think is at his core, a very affable guy.
For sure.
He likes to have a good time. He likes to talk about intellectual things. He is very, very knowledgeable about politics. So like the more I think about it, the more I can get behind it. It's just a little shocking at first.
Yeah. It's like a jump scare.
But I'm also really, yes, exactly. But I'm also kind of here for it because Shep and JJ and I have talked about this. Like Shep needs a strong partner who can give it back to him.
Yeah.
Who can match him
He
and
needs a
put him in his
challenge.
place.
He doesn't like it if you can't challenge him. I know that's contrary to what I think we as viewers see on the show because a lot of that is a little bit smoke and mirrors. I don't mean it's fake. I just mean he's a bachelor. He's a man about town. Charleston is small. It is what it is. But the reality is most of these cast members are very well traveled. They get out. They're not in Charleston like 365
No.
days a year.
No,
Do you know what I
no.
mean?
Yeah.
And, I think that he kind of succumbs to his baser instincts in Charleston in the dating pool. I think that he ends up going for, and I'm not calling Taylor this necessarily, but more young, impressionable girls that he can feel like he has, like,
Guys, what she's trying to say is
power
that there are only
dynamic
so many people at the College of Charleston that you can fucking date, okay? There are only so many sorority houses, all right?
there are only, it is not a big Greek school. There are
Like, for
only so
real.
many.
I'm being dead serious. Like, there are only so many people at the College of Charleston. But on the flip side, and this is for Betsy,
What?
somebody has a big old crush on one Shep Rose. And it's kind of interested in looking to see, like, would Shep even be interested?
Who?
And, well,
On the edge of the couch.
when asked if he's the same person he is on camera off, Andy said, he's exactly as he appears. This person said, perfect. It takes one commitment phobe to know another commitment phobe, right? Bryn. Bryn
Oh my
has the
God.
Oh
biggest
my
crush on
God.
Shep fucking Rose.
Oh my
Wow.
God. I love that.
How
How's
does
he
that?
feel about this,
By the way,
baby?
I'm here for
I want
it.
to see it.
Bryn is into Shep Rose. Shep.
Bravo
Shep is-
Con.
He's getting his glow
Shep.
up. This Austin
And-
Taylor shit, this is his glow up.
This is glow up.
Austin
Oh, yeah.
has glow up last year.
Austin's just gonna,
You're welcome.
He's just gonna
And,
die.
Yes,
Shep
that is
getting
courtesy of JJ.
His, yeah, that is courtesy of JJ. Shep is gonna have his glow up this year.
He
and
is.
I'm really here for it.
So am I.
Is
I am
Austin,
here for
is
it.
Austin gonna have a total meltdown?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
I know
Probably.
nothing about that. I
Sure.
clocked out.
Sure. I'm just kidding.
We talk about other things. Like, hi, I miss you.
Oh,
And the Harry Potter blanket I want to send him that I have in the mail. That I've been
That's
wanting
true.
to send to
is
him.
he a Potter fan?
Big time.
What?
Big,
Is water
big
wet?
time.
I didn't know that.
Is the sky blue?
He is the biggest Potter fan.
Does Tamara take her top off at a party?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Does Kyle do the splits at a dance?
Oh, God. Look
I
how
mean, come on
flexible I am.
Look how flexible, Morgan.
Yeah.
Morgan Wade, look at me, all flexible.
Pick me.
No, that's actually going to be my next, my
What?
next thing to talk about.
Doing the splits?
No, one Morgan Wade and Kyle Richards were spotted in Aspen at none other than wild guess.
City Market?
Wait. Oh, the little bar.
No. Oh, yes, but
I don't know the name of it, though.
Kimosabe.
Yeah.
Kimosabe.
They were seen at Kimosabe. And then they were
This
also
is recent.
This
Okay.
A couple days ago.
The guy's my vocal friend.
They're still there.
Yeah, so they were seen there at Kimosabe. And then apparently Morgan had a show. And Kyle, producer Kyle, was like boots on the ground, getting low. She was filming. She was filming the concert herself.
Wow.
She's
Filming.
producer.
She said,
The
I
concert.
see you, Raquel, and I one up you. I mean, come the fuck
Guys,
on.
I'm going to go back to my original theory, and I'm just going to say this.
What?
I think that Morgan Wade may be a family member. I'm going to go out on a limb here.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no reason that this woman, who I know confidently is trying to, not because she's embarrassed that she could be with a woman, it has nothing to do with her sexual orientation. It has everything to do with she's not seeing her. And if everybody's saying that she's seeing her, I don't know if the art, and what I mean by art is making this presumably documentary about Morgan Wade and her life, I think is what it's supposed to be. I don't know if she's going to be like Teddy Mellencamp all in like that. If what's out there is already things that, again, as Heather Dubrow would say, are punitive. Okay. I just don't know if she would just be
Out and about,
doubling
after
down on
all-
that pipe. You know what I mean? I just don't know.
I don't disagree. Look, I think it's a good theory.
Yeah.
I think that it's everything that we've seen. I do not think they're having an affair. We've talked about this. I do not think there's an affair, especially after all of the press and all of the things and her having to come out and cockamamie explain about the ring and not have, like, she wouldn't just keep being out in public. And the fact that there was that story that came out that she's producing something, a documentary around Morgan Wade
And her life.
and her life, my first thought in us talking about it before this was, okay, so is it like a 23andMe type of like family reveal type of documentary?
Okay, I thought you were joking. She's actually doing a documentary.
No.
Yes.
Oh my God. Wait.
That's why I talked about Raquel. I thought this was a joke.
Oh, no. This is real. She is doing a docu-follow.
And Kyle's producing this?
Yes. So
From my
Kyle,
understanding, from what Page Six and all the other bloggers out there, journalists, quote,
Yeah,
are saying.
quotations.
Yeah, she's following her. And first of all, I'm pissed that we just missed her. I could have gone to that
I'm like,
Morgan
pack
Wade
the
show.
van. Let's go back and see them.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, that probably does hurt you so
It
much.
hurts
that you,
so bad.
By like a week too.
It hurts so bad.
It's not right.
What would you have done? Would you have gone? Would you have approached her?
Yes.
We would have been those creepy people following her around in a goddamn
creepy.
van.
She's probably
Producers who work for Bravo.
I know.
She probably
I'm
would like
joking.
it.
And
she
other
seems.
shows.
I mean, I guess not if she's.
We also know
working,
people who
but-
have worked with her. We know producers who have worked on the show, and like, yeah.
I also haven't worked on a show since Hawaii just because I'm focusing on the podcasts. That was the intent, and now our industry's imploding, so there's no work. So anyway, all of that to say, I would have been lending a helping hand.
Yeah, you could be like, "Is there a spot for me on this documentary?"
No, she can climb on my shoulders to get that POV,
Yep.
that high, that high. Oh my God, that high wide. Yeah, that bird's eye view. What's up? Look, I'm here for this. I just don't.
Okay.
Here's what I'll say, and I know I'm poking fun. I do not like discussing people's sexuality like that.
Agreed.
I just don't. I've been speaking from my own personal experience. But it is out there and people are talking about it. And I really don't want to give too much light to the fact that, yes, we should all be speculating who she is and what she dates. And none of that matters to me. What I am going to say, though, is I'm really excited that she's doing this docu-follow about Morgan. But I also think it has more to do than just like, oh, they're just fucking. Not everything is deduced down to something that's low-hanging fruit, guys.
Yeah.
So I do think that there is something a little bit more virtuous in this. And as I think I might have told Betsy or executive producer, well, one of you will corroborate this. that she's getting a double mastectomy because she carries the gene for metastatic breast cancer. And so Morgan Wade's going to go under the knife this fall to get
Got you.
to get a mastectomy. And I do wonder if that's something also Kyle is following.
Right.
Because there is something that's, she's close to that.
Yes.
Given that Big Kathy had breast cancer. But that's my personal opinion on that. I mean, I don't know.
By the way, I think that's very possible. What I don't think is my personal opinion in the realm of possibility is that she's doing a documentary or a docuseries about them being in a relationship, A, or B, just about Morgan Wade's music. I think that there's another hook to it, whether it is this journey to the mastectomy, whether there is some sort of other relational tie.
Yeah, I think there's some lineage there. That's just my personal, if we had to speculate.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I'm taken aback by this documentary. Is she going to be in it at all, or is she purely behind the scenes? Do we know yet? Do we have any information on that?
I mean, do you really need to ask that question?
So she'll be in every scene.
No, I actually don't know the nuance of that. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she was connected to it in some way.
No, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, like
well, if it's about her
scene.
life, and we know that Kyle, regardless of what position it is, she is in her life in a big way. Then I would assume that she'll be on camera at some point.
Do you think
right?
that she'll take this laying down?
You said it. I mean,
No,
I don't know. Listen, I can't.
Kyle, we love you. I love Kyle.
Yeah, she does. I'm living down the middle right now. Like I'm going to be surprised if I find out that they're family members. That's going to take me back, like how I found out about the documentary. That took me back.
I just wonder if she's like a niece.
I also don't totally buy into the fact that they're that they're
Having
hooking
this
up.
affair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't know.
Stress affair.
So I live in the in between, which is really boring, and I just
So we're
shocker
talking about RHONY?
shocker to no one. I haven't thought about it really, probably since we talked last time.
Yeah, I haven't really thought
Several
about
weeks.
it much until
I feel like it hadn't been out there a lot, but
people are still talking about it because much like they're still talking about Vanderpump Rules, guys.
I also think that Kyle loves to be talked about. So maybe she's loving that the
she's a
story is
child
still
star after all.
Yeah, the story is still out there and circulating, and she's getting down with it.
You can take the child out of the star, but you can never take the star out of the child.
At a Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween Kills Again, coming 2025. Kyle's bangs are the villain.
Isn't there a Halloween Resurrection?
Yes, that's with Michelle Williams. Or no, that's H2O.
Yeah, well, H2O is the one that has Josh Hartnett. Was she in that one?
And Michelle Williams.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Resurrection was a different one.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
there's
there's like 1,000. So
there really are.
So many.
when you go to Jamie Lee Curtis's IMDb, it's just Halloween, and then Freaky Friday's in there somewhere. And then that's it.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And then everything, everywhere,
All at once.
Oh yeah.
Someone there, too.
Oh, so good. And
a
the bear.
personal- Well, and a personal favorite of mine is Trading Places. So,
Great.
Trading Places.
a personal favorite of mine.
Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy? Nope. Yes?
Yes,
Okay.
Oh.
absolutely.
I had a moment.
Absolutely.
I had a brain fart
I'm gonna have to
moment.
watch that.
You have to. Jamie Lee Curtis is hot in that movie. I mean, her acting skills are comedy. She's a comedian. She's funny.
Okay.
She's married to fucking Christopher Guest.
I
for crying out
know.
loud.
That's
I just
so
always-
I know.
yes.
Everyone forgets it.
Always
Everyone
love.
I forget it all the
forgets
time, and I love Christopher.
Oh, it's the best. Still waiting on that Housewives mockumentary.
I know.
Look, it's.
We're out here.
I mean, we're ready, Chris.
Yeah.
We are ready.
We're ready. All right?
If you need producing partners, we are
Yeah.
here.
And we won't.
By the way, we're jobless, so
Yeah.
we're ready.
And we won't even write a script. We'll just give you some
Improv.
prompts, and yeah, we'll just do improv,
Okay.
so we can stand in solidarity with the strike.
We are jobless, but not
Yeah, you don't want to be a
toothless.
scab.
No.
Which we never actually explained what a scab was the other day. We talked about it, but I don't.
Oh, but
think
we didn't-
Yeah, so real quick before we
Real
change
quick.
subjects, a scab is somebody who's a part of the union, and they cross the picket line.
Yep.
And they're out there, guys. They're
Wah,
out there, so you
wah,
have to be careful. You never know who's
scab.
lurking over your shoulder.
Yeah.
All right. I know you guys talked about Vanderpump in our OC recap, but
Tiny
can you
bit.
guys just talk about this a little bit more. Supposedly,
Mm-hmm.
Zach with No Filter, which is another podcast out
Yep.
there that also talks about pop culture, said that they had insider information discussing that, well, Ariana Madix is in hot water not filming with Tom Sandoval.
Please.
Look, I don't know who that whistleblower is from the production side of things, nor do I really care. Zach's doing his job. He's out there. He's promoting. He's discussing,
Disseminating info that he gets.
That he gets. All right. So that's, love loss. None of that. That makes sense. Totally makes sense.
No shame. No shame.
I see all that shit all the time. Whatever. Now, executive producer, what's your opinion on this?
Bullshit.
Okay.
Bullshit, mama.
Just in
I
a word.
always think of How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Oh, yeah,
Bullshit, mama.
Yeah.
Bullshit, mama.
What do you think? Why?
Okay, so here's the deal. No one on the producing staff going into this season has any thoughts, especially in the first month, 6 weeks of filming, that you are going to get Ariana and Tom sitting down one-on-one for an intimate conversation. It's just not going to happen
Raquel.
before we get Raquel. And
man.
not for nothing, you don't need it.
No.
As producers,
You don't.
as
I don't
the
want
content
it
drivers,
either.
you don't need it, and you don't necessarily want it.
Now,
At least not right now.
Exactly. Is there a world where this person, this whistleblower, might be working on the show, but they're a friend of, and they're just kind of
Tangential and
It's
not
tangential. It's like me telling you, Betsy, when I'm working on a show, like, oh God, so and so doesn't want to film, and like it's not that big of a deal, but I don't know. I think maybe after a while it could pose as a problem, and then that get editorialized into
absolutely.
Ariana's in hot water.
Yeah.
Of course, because here's the thing: we all sign NDAs, but if we were all that tight-lipped, you're right. We can't be. It's just like almost physically impossible. We say what we feel like is safe to share, and the things that are more, what would you say, significant in really kind of exposing what the story could be, we're just not sharing.
No.
This is not something that really sticks with me, only because we already knew going into it that she wasn't going to do it. If the producers at any moment thought, we're going to get her in by telling her she never has to film with him, but 6 weeks, she better. That's a horrible tactic.
Yeah.
You just don't put all your eggs in one basket, and it's a waste of fucking money.
And I can't imagine that was the mentality going in.
You hope for things. We all have wish lists. Is there somewhere in a world that it's a fantasy to want to see that to happen? Of course. We all want to see them have a one-on-one. That's different from what we left on the finale, right?
Yeah.
But if we're only going to see the same thing that we saw,
That's
we
where
don't
I'm
need to
coming
see it.
from.
Don't need it.
There's been nothing new that's happened other than Ariana seeming to move on and be happy. What conversation are they going to have that it's going to be different than either the finale or the reunion?
Right.
Like, there's no new anything. So there's no growth on his side. She's moved on. I mean, what kind of conversation are we expecting to see?
they've been in and around the same areas. They've had all cast events where they have, proverbially rubbed shoulders. They're not even that close. I mean, let me just tell you that.
Yeah.
They're not even going to the bathroom at the same time in different stalls. Like,
Yeah.
we are not, there's nothing.
There's no crossover.
There is no crossover whatsoever. I think it's really inflammatory or incendiary, and there are so many publications talking about it that so-and-so from production, it's not just No Filter with Zach. They unfortunately were the first person I saw that said it. But I went in and saw all these other people. It's just not a thing.
No.
We've said this time and time again. And by the way, there is nuance to this. You do have to show up and do your job. Yes. You do have to show up and do scenes and things like that. But we don't force your hand. Now, if there's an aspect here where you're just simply never wanting to get up to do any scene,
Well,
That's a
that's
little
different. Totally.
it's a little different. With something as sensitive as this, I don't think it's fair to put that kind of inflammatory rhetoric out there that Ariana is being ornery. It's not that. We should know that she's not going to want to do that. Again, the best thing that I can tell you to look at it, and I know a lot of people aren't going to want to see it this way because reality television is forced and this and that. And I say that all, again, metaphorically and with bunny ears. In real life, would you want to fucking sit next to your ex at a bar? No. Even if you have to go to a birthday party where all of your friends are there and his friends and their friends and her friends and his friends
Right.
and their friends and their friends and all that, okay? It's going to happen. That's the way that it is. We see it all the time. We see it with celebrities showing up
All
to the
the
Met
time.
Gala and they get dropped off at the same time. I mean, come on, people.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they have to interact. And there's plenty of other things going on. Now, is there a world where there isn't really much going on? So now they're like, oh my God, we'd really love to see this. Yes. That's
Sure.
not on Ariana's shoulders. And the producers, I can guarantee you, did not go into the season thinking, we're going to lie to her and then we're just going to tell her what we want instead.
Yeah.
No way. And I don't disagree that could there be a universe where the producers went into the season thinking, okay, look, we're not expecting Ariana to sit down with Sandoval right away, but maybe by the end of the season, we can get some sort of sit down one-on-one, whether it's a scene in and of itself or a breakaway at an event, where we can kind of close the loop and come full circle on everything that happened at the end of this past season. Sure, if I were producing the show, that would be my head, that I'd like to build towards potentially by the end of the season having some sort of breakaway conversation.
Yeah, I would love Craig and Paige to be married at the end of their first season when they first started dating. But
That's not how it works. And not for nothing, we're 6 weeks into filming, something like that.
Yeah.
Probably about halfway through the season at this point. No one is getting pissed at Ariana for not having a sit down with Sandoval halfway into the season. It's
Yeah.
just not happening. It's just not happening. And I don't know what like grand reason to give other than this is what we do for a living and I'm telling you it's not happening.
Yeah.
I mean, there are always exceptions to the rule, but this just really isn't it, especially given that I'd venture to guess that Ariana was the whistleblower for there being an additional episode and all these things to begin with, because if it weren't her, it wasn't Sandoval. Like, hell, that man wants any of this shit to come out. You
Yeah.
know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
So we're already given a lot here. What we need to look at this season is a rebirth and the aftermath of what has happened
To the group.
to the group.
Yes,
It's
as a
not
whole.
so much as like, where's Ariana at and what's Ariana doing? It's where's Tom Sandoval at and where's Ariana at independently? Because even though they were not dating the entire 10 years of the show, the nucleus of it really does kind of surround around them. They are the couple. They are no longer together. So we really need to be focusing on all the other ancillary relationships. And I don't mean ancillary as in they don't mean as much. I just mean like we're focusing on how does the group survive and thrive without this couple?
Right,
What does
right.
that look like? Because it happens to everyone. We've all had that couple that breaks up and everybody goes, what now? Thanksgivings, skiing in Aspen in winters, Hamptons.
life.
I know. Montauk in July.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do now?
Right.
You know, we've always
Right.
we've had those couples. We've had those couples. So I want you guys to look more. I mean, if you care, if not, by all means, hang on to the fodder. I don't care. It's fan fiction. It is what it is. Fan
Yeah.
care. But if you are looking for, I would say a pretty educated opinion, we're just looking at the aftermath. Like, what happens next?
Yeah.
It's exactly right.
So
It's exactly right.
maybe
Yeah.
we'll get something at the end, which, by the way, that wouldn't surprise me at the
Right.
very, very,
But that's
very
what
end.
I'd push for it to be a breakaway at in the finale.
Yep.
Yeah, I just, I'm good for now. It also, we have to keep in mind that this still hasn't been that long.
It hasn't.
For the
No.
amount of time they were together, for how intense and traumatic everything was, and everything was public and put out there, and cheating and, scandal
Yeah.
and
It's been
betrayal on both sides. It's been what?
5 months.
4 or 5
It'll
months?
be in a couple of days. It'll have been 5 months since Ariana found out about the
I
affair.
mean,
And
and
I
so, well, I'm just glad that she did give us that episode.
Yeah.
Because that's what we
Right.
wanted to see.
and she was the one who picked up the phone, called producers, and started the ball rolling on
Yeah.
that last episode.
I can almost
They are not
guarantee it.
pissed at her for
No.
not sitting down in the first 6 weeks of filming with her ex. They're
Because
not.
we're not getting anything new, guys. Ariana seems like she doesn't give a fuck. She's just
No.
interested. We're not going to see Ariana sit down and give Tom Sandoval grace, nor do we need to see that. And we're not going to see Tom really do anything other than what he's already done.
And it's not going to be, even if it happened, it ain't going to be the scene you want it to be.
No, it's not.
It's just not. It's going to be a lot of nothing. And also, because I've also seen out there, she has a boyfriend now. And look at all of her door. I mean, she won big. Why can't she just sit down? For the same reason why celebrities who are worth $20 million still deserve their residuals.
Yeah.
We're all
It
fucking
doesn't
human, and we all have
matter.
worth.
It's principle.
Yeah.
She did her part. Yeah. Yes, she gave. That doesn't mean just because she got all of these endorsements and all of these things that were born out of, I don't know, egregious infidelity. That doesn't mean that she gets to just be a free-for-all and a grab bag. Ariana Maddox is not a grab bag, guys. I know that contrary to popular belief that reality stars just grab bags. No, they're not. No, they're not.
They're not.
And so, because it's just been out there. The argument's been like, well, why not?
Because she's a human being, and 5 months ago, her entire life got blown to shit. And you know what? She's in a much better place now, but there is absolutely no onus on her to sit down and open herself up to Tom Sandoval. There just isn't.
And just because she has a new boyfriend, that doesn't mean dick to me either. She doesn't want to do that. He hurt her and embarrassed her.
And betrayed her.
And yes, she got all of these amazing opportunities out of it. But shit, no one wants to get amazing opportunities like that based out of this.
No.
She was going to, be with this man for the rest of her life. Like, I don't.
Exactly.
Well, and also it's a reflection on who she is. Maybe she got all these opportunities because she deserved to get them. And this just has to be the way that she ended up getting them.
Exactly.
Yeah, she also had to make money because we all know that she's all twisted and tied up in that fucking home refinance shit. They're still living under the same roof.
God.
That was another argument. Come on, Ariana, y'all are living under the same roof.
Well, but didn't she move out a couple months ago or a month
No,
ago?
that was another endorsement.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
The moving post was an endorsement.
I thought the same thing.
Oh, I
you can move-
really-
like if something happens to you, you can move out quick. You know?
Shit. Okay.
Yeah.
So look, I was
we believed you, Ariana.
We believe.
Hashtag actor.
But to my
Hashtag
understanding, they're
SAG.
still 2 weeks in, whatever their deal is. Something could have changed in the last few days. Don't come at me. But the last time I saw that they were still living under the same roof, which was one of the arguments that some commenters, we're talking about netizens, like the people, civilians of the world, on Instagram, one of the arguments was, come on, they still live together. Why not, Ariana? Like, big deal. Y'all share the same roof. Guys, a boundary is a fucking boundary. Obviously, people do not understand what that means.
No.
They don't.
Maybe it's
And
touching
I think there's a
close to
common
home.
misconception that just because you're on reality TV, that means that there's no establishable boundaries in your life and in
Yes,
your
there are.
personal
Yeah,
life.
there's no privacy,
Yes, there
basically.
are.
Yes.
I mean, look, are they paid a lot of money to like talk about their lives, open up their lives, talk about their feelings, be vulnerable? Yes. Yes, they are. However, everyone has agency. Everyone has the ability to set boundaries. No one is forced to do anything. No cast member is forced, their arms twisted to go and do something. What I will say is, and this is a common rule of thumb, that if you don't want to do something, then you probably have to say it on camera or talk about it.
Correct.
Like if Sheena had been vehemently against sitting down and one-on-one with Tom Sandoval and whatever cockamamie healing ceremony they did in Tahoe, she didn't have to do it. But she would have had to say, no, I'm not comfortable doing this on camera.
We just have to have connective tissue.
And it's connective tissue.
That's all that matters. That's not all that matters, but in this particular case,
yes.
it is.
So, if I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that on several occasions in several scenes over the last 6 or whatever weeks, Ariana has said to whether it's Sheena or Lala or perhaps Schwartz, who the fuck knows,
probably has.
that, you know what, I have no interest in speaking to him anymore.
And
I have
I'm
no interest in
still-
having him in my life. I understand that he is your friend. I understand that he is X, Y, and Z, but I'm good. I guarantee you she has said that.
Yeah.
Because that's what any normal person
Yeah,
would say.
we would just need to get it peppered out throughout the show, especially if we know that there are going to be all cast events where the both of them are going to be there. We're going to get a little bit of anticipatory thoughts, getting dressed. How are you feeling? Sandoval's going to be there. I honestly, look, I know he's going to be there. I thought about not going, but then I thought, no, fuck that. I can go and not talk to him. That's okay. That right there's a scene. And then we're moving on and we're in the car, we're driving, maybe more anticipatory thoughts. Then we're getting there. And then we're at the event. And then we're seeing, we are doing connective tissue. We are lensing. And we're seeing Ariana talking to somebody about how the fact that Sandoval's here. And we're lensing and we are connecting Sandoval far, far away in the distance.
Yeah.
Mark
Yeah.
my words, guys. Mark Mark today as the day that you
because
heard
she'll
that.
talk about that. She'll
And
do
she
that
will
kind of
talk
shit.
about
She
it.
will. And like, how much do you want to bet? Because that first event was the closing of Sir, and it was Lisa's event, that Ariana had a scene with Lisa where Lisa says, is it going to be okay that Sandoval is there as well?
Yeah.
And Ariana says, absolutely. He is not a part of my life. I am steering clear of him, but this is about Sir. This is about our history. This is about celebrating
Yeah, 'cause she's
you
a
and
bigger
Ken.
person.
Exactly.
And
And a
whatever.
better
Like,
person.
I don't know for a fact that was shot, but I would bet
I guarantee
anything
you.
on the fact that was shot and that was a conversation that was had that will air in the fall.
Because most of
Yeah.
us think about story in the same way. Not all of us. Not all of us. I've
But-
seen that on other shows. They do not think the way that I do, but
But by and large, most of us do.
Yes,
like
by
in
and
terms
large,
of
most
those
of
types
us,
of building blocks
we
for
do.
an episode or for
Sorry.
a story.
I didn't mean to drag anybody. I would say
Shitty
most
producers out there.
No. But I'm just saying Jerry, as he's colloquially known. Jerry's probably got the same great ideas and better. So guys, let's let these people film their show.
Let them
Let's
do
let
their
them
jobs.
film their
Let them
show,
film
do their
fucking
jobs.
show, and like
And
let's
let's do our
let's
job.
let
Let's
it
just judge.
ride.
Let's judge, but let's wait to judge.
Yeah.
Until we see the show.
We don't need to giddy up. We're good.
No, I'm still tired.
I'm so tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exhausted.
Exhausted. Oh. You know what else I'm tired of?
What?
These women fucking complaining on Real Housewives of New York. Y'all, I love a good complainer. I love to complain myself sometimes, but damn.
I mean,
It's too hot, it's too cold, chewing down the street, this, I don't wanna, shuka, I don't wanna,
the caviar, but the Pringles.
I don't want caviar. It's on Pringle, not a Pringle. No, not a Pringle.
But on
We're
a
going to topping
cucumber.
gross. Ooh, gross, topping gross. I'm going to move your drinks. No, don't move my drinks. We're in the middle of eating. No. Content creating. Christmas tree. I look like a Christmas tree. I mean, it's like, what is it, the Star of David? Or is it the angel that's atop of that Christmas tree?
That's
is it a
it.
Christmas? Is it a Christmas?
This
I don't know.
This is going to be our shortest episode because that's it.
That is our recap of RHONY.
I mean,
Yep.
look. This show, this franchise, it was born to complain.
I mean, it's true.
They got their monies from complaining.
Well,
But what's the deal with this?
This
Can
is
we
just
talk about
complaining
it?
over the most rudimentary, boring, stupid shit.
I mean, your bitch complained about an AC at Heather Thompson's house. So
Whoa.
you
Don't
need
call
to
her
tell-
my bitch. She was not my bitch. She was my
Ramona.
counterpart's bitch.
Well-
My bitches were Heather, Carol, and Aviva.
I mean,
Oh, that's right.
Those were my bitches.
wasn't there a good behavior clause?
Yeah, because
That's what
Ramona
that's what- yeah,
established
she
a
was
good
talking
behavior
just
clause.
said.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
No, y'all talked about that previously,
yeah,
I
we
think.
did.
We have.
And everyone thought it was somebody else. And they're like, oh, of course it was Ramona. I think a lot of people thought it was like Vicky or,
Well, these
Ramona
days-
motherfucking singer.
Well, I'm sorry, but the reason that that's different is because there was a lot of comedy with the air conditioner. I hate to say this, these women, and I'm going to exclude two of them, but these women so far are so fucking boring.
Okay.
I'm very bored.
I mean, I know.
Bryn's an exception and Uba's an exception.
Sorry. Why do I feel
Bryn-
like we went into this episode and that is not the feeling I felt from either one of you?
Well, hold on.
Oh, you should have felt it from me.
No, I did from you. But
Oh, yeah.
I'm
I'm
not.
Let's make it clear. You're calling out Eeps right now, not me.
I'm being called out for the hypocrisy in this tripod of ours.
Very good. Our thruple.
Our throuple. Here's my thing. I completely agree with Betsy that if it weren't for Uba and Brandon, I'm going to throw Jenna in there because I do love me some Jenna Lyons now.
I love Jenna. Don't touch her.
If it wasn't for the three of them,
We've already
it would be
established our
insufferable.
cast.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Eeps, you're with Aaron because I have Brandon.
I'm not with Aaron. Fuck
I
that.
have Brandon. I have Uba on my playing
Y'all
card.
were loving Aaron last episode. So
I
what
know.
happened?
Honestly, no.
What happened?
I didn't love her really episode 2. It was only episode 1. She started, it's a slow burn, but now she's so annoying.
I don't disagree. Episode 2, I was not as big of a fan, and I didn't talk to you guys about episode 2.
Oh, clearly not.
Clearly.
We're in the dark.
Everything
We're in the
about
closet, if you will. Right with Jenna in 2016.
God.
No, I'm teasing, guys. I'm also gay, so who cares? Anyway. Only
I
gays can make fun of gays.
only the gays can
Guys,
make fun
I've had 2
of the
Ativan, and
gays.
it's a Wild West out here today.
And pumped her up.
Wait, what's boom 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 boom? That's what you said.
Boom, boom,
She has
boom, boom,
little
boom.
little finger guns. Boom,
Oh,
boom.
yeah.
I'm like pew pew pew.
Oh, yeah. Pew, pew.
Because I don't have a voice, so my noises don't equate the same.
Boom boom.
I mean, I get
It's a,
pew 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 pew.
it's
Okay,
a, it's a
cut this
touchy, it's a touchy subject. Okay. She doesn't have her voice.
I think that Erin has gotten more and more annoying. I think that all of this shit at the house with like harping on Jenna not staying the night. I'm sorry.
Cares.
If you had a house 5 minutes away, which let's be clear, the Hamptons at night on the off season, you can get anywhere in like 10 minutes. Like that's just the reality.
Especially where she's at, which is East Hampton. She says Sag Harbor, but she's technically East Hampton.
Yeah, she's like next to Sag Harbor town. So she's like a little bit farther north, and I'm guessing Jenna's probably in South or East Hampton.
Off the 118
right
guys.
there. Yeah.
Right?
I think so.
The
You
118
said that.
highway?
You said that so
I think
confidently, and
118
then you
runs
go
north-south.
right.
Yeah.
Well, this means nothing.
27
To me.
is the one that runs the long way, and then 118 is the
How far are they
north-south,
from the
right?
summer house?
Not far.
Honestly, not far because
like
the
a
sum-
10-minute drive.
Probably like a
Okay.
10-minute drive. Yeah.
That's my reference point, and that still means nothing to me. But
Yeah.
Like, if I had a house that I could sleep in my own bed and leave at 10:30 at night and come back at probably 8 in the morning, yeah, I'd fucking do that too. We're grown-ass adults. I'd rather sleep in my own
silly.
bed.
Okay. Also, the clip that I saw, which is, you know, how Bravo releases the clips, and I sent them both to you, and we saw that the women were upset because Jenna left. What we didn't have the context of is actually getting a scene where, I mean, it was on the iPhone,
yeah,
of her actually saying goodbye.
Yeah.
She didn't just
It's
Irish
not like-
exit.
exactly.
that's why I was so
I
confused.
was like, you guys are a bunch of bullshitters.
they're like, she snuck out.
she left.
I had to rewind because I was like, oh, did I? Richie, he definitely hit something.
He's hitting it all. He's hitting it all.
Mention it all.
He's turning my mic off.
Pause.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. As I'm sure you were regaled in our last OC recording, my cat Richie decided to play disc jockey today. A little Carson Daly, little Total Request live
I
action.
can't stand Carson
TRL.
Daly.
Little TRL.
Which Carson? The one where he paints his nails, or the one where he doesn't?
The one
whatever,
where he doesn't.
Whatever Carson we're getting today. is
Carson
the one
who
I
dated
can't-
Tara Reid? Or
No, I'm okay with that Carson.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Jennifer
Yeah.
Love Hewitt all goddamn day.
There we go. I
No.
forgot about Tara Reid.
Oh, I did too.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sharknado, how dare you?
Sharknado.
With Kim.
With
And
Kim,
Ian
you're-
Ziering.
Betsy's favorite Kim.
Oh, Kim
Betsy's.
Richards' baby.
Yeah.
And Eve's least favorite. God, that scene. I need to go back and watch that scene when they clipped to it on this season of Beverly Hills. And that, I could watch that all day, every day. And
I mean,
just bring joy to my heart.
I feel like it was like Sharknado 5 or something
I
that
think
she
it
was in.
She was not in the original.
No, well, I know that because I have definitely
Oh.
watched Sharknadoes 1, 2, and 3, I believe.
Good for you.
Shark
Not
Week
good for you.
is a great time, and I'm sorry,
That's an
but
embarrassing thing to admit.
getting rip roaring high
No, it's
and
fucking
watching
funny.
Sharknado is
We have
hysterical.
her on as the resident executive producer, and that's the type of shit she tells the people that she fucking watches.
I watch all forms
Have
of
we
media.
any credibility? I
Have we
relax.
any dignity?
Your favorite
is
movie?
the real question.
Credibility.
Sharknado 5, specifically, where Kim dies.
Look,
Here's what-
Sharknado's a good time to get a little high and just like
I mean,
watch a
if she's
dumbass
getting
movie.
stoned and watching it. I mean, that's
Oh, I'm not watching that
hilarious.
sober, please.
I think I watched it drunk
Give
one
me
time, and I
some
had
credit.
the best time.
I may have been wasted the
Because
first one.
Steve's in it, Steve from 90210, and he
Ian
is
Ziering.
a terrible
Ian
actor.
Ziering.
I
Yeah,
mean,
he's great.
oh,
I worked
just
with
terrible.
Ian Ziering.
Did you?
He's nice, right? I feel like he's had
I
like
worked with the kids from 90210.
the
What was
kids.
it on, like,
on
Hollywood?
Battle of the Network TV Stars.
Oh shit!
And at the time,
Oh.
the SAG-AFTRA president.
Oh my god.
What's
Which
her
was
name?
Gabrielle.
Yep.
Fuck. What's her last name?
You've
Who
got
is
Starts with a
this.
Z. I think no. Gabrielle. I can't say
Oh,
Gabrielle Union,
Andrea?
but I know it's yeah, and
Andrea.
It's
Andrea.
Andrea
Andrea.
Zimmerman. No,
No, guys, stop making up fucking names.
No, but what's
I'm
her
done
last
with
name?
y'all.
I have to look it up.
Zuckerberg or something.
Zuckerberg.
We'll look it up in a minute.
Yeah.
But going back to this, they act as if Jenna Lyons was Sally Field, not without my daughter, fucking leaving in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Lights fucking out, sneaking, setting off the alarm, getting out, and then going home, and then sneakily waking,
Yeah.
like making her way back in. That is not what happened.
Guys,
We get that flashback.
yeah.
I know.
She's like-
Carteris. Gabrielle
Whoa.
Carteris.
Wow.
Sorry.
Wait. She changed her name then.
It's
Mm-mm.
probably her married name.
Okay, because in the show
It's Andrea Zimmerman.
Yeah, it starts
Right.
with yeah.
That's her character name.
But her real name.
Her real name is
is
wow.
Gabrielle Carteris.
right.
You are correct.
Guys, I need
Bravo.
I need everybody to understand that
I'm method. I am
I'm
my
the
character.
one that's on a mood stabilizer right now, and these two can't remember shit.
Us
for
two
shit.
yahoos, we are clear as day, and we are fucking it up.
Andrea
Yeah, y'all are
Zuckerman.
sober.
Okay, well,
Like I'm in a place to watch Sharknado, not you. And you can't even
embarrassing.
remember who's what and whom. I mean, Jesus Christ.
I mean,
Okay.
And we're trying to pitch our fucking podcast to a network. Jesus Lord.
Yeah, listen to this. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know.
You want to be in the
baby.
know?
This
Listen
is
to
the
Reality
pitch.
Bites.
The who's who
And the what's what?
of reality television, Reality Bites.
Bitch.
Anyway, guys, Jenna Lyons sneaks out of the house. How
But,
did you
like,
feel
a
about
half
this?
sneak.
Thank you. How did you feel about it when you saw it in the flashback?
I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
The lights were still on.
The
and
lights are
everybody
on.
was home.
And
Yeah.
she says goodbye. She says, I have an early call in the morning
At 6:30.
at 6:30. Story stays the same. And I'm going to go home and sleep. I'll be back in the morning. There is no problem with this. You are grown ass adults. This is not some high school sleepover.
No.
Like, get on with it.
She also came back with coffees for everyone.
She came back with those fancy ass coffees. You know, those were those fancy ass coffees. And she had all for everyone.
Were they from Provisions?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Could have been.
Could have been.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah. Just so silly. And like, I understand 80 to 85% of stuff that we fight about on these shows across every franchise is typically pretty silly.
Sure.
So I'm not even mad about the silliness. I'm
no,
mad
no,
about
no,
the
me
players. The players
Yeah.
is what is not connecting.
Yeah.
Take the fact that it's the third episode. I'm still not buying in that these women even love each other, very much like each other. So that's hard to get behind.
Yeah.
And also she mentions it. Jenna mentions it either in the kitchen the next morning or some time throughout the episode, where she's like, I had to get up early and I didn't want y'all to feel like you had to stop the music. So it's like, well, what do you want her to do? Do you want her to go and sleep by herself and come back in the morning? Or do you want her to stay and then make her feel bad that she wants you to cut the music off?
Yeah, I wanted to go back in the closet, pretend that she's straight, and then come back and pretend.
Right.
I just like, Aaron's like, we would have turned the music off. But,
No,
then,
okay,
but then you're going to complain about, we have to turn it down because Jenna's sleeping.
Thank you. That's what I was going to ask.
Fuck off.
Bingo!
Exactly. There was no winning
Never
here.
gonna win.
Yeah.
And Aaron's like, oh, look, you don't like my house? She lives in a fucking log cabin, this one. I mean,
Oh,
Jenna.
yeah.
Jenna says that she lives in like a 2-bedroom,
It's a
one
tiny
bath.
They're like,
house.
she woke up to the water. And she's like, there's no water.
She's like, I don't have a water field.
Like, what are they bitching about? They're bitching because there's no heat. What do you think Jenna Lyons has? Nothing.
But the thing is,
wood-burning
She has a
stove.
cauldron.
The thing
She has
is,
a cauldron.
they
where
don't-
She's like warming up water.
they
for
don't
steam.
know because they're not friends. They have no idea what her house looks like. So in their mind, they're thinking
Exactly.
she's rich. She's the richest of all of us. She must have a banger. And she had like some cabin in the woods where they shot a horror movie one time. You know what I mean?
That may have been called Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
I was listening to this and I was like, your argument doesn't even make sense. Also, I can get behind them feeling that they're missing out on camaraderie because they don't all know each other very well. So these are the important moments. These are the times
Sure.
to really try
Yeah.
to cultivate that friendship. The reality is she was already in bed.
Yeah.
So what cultivating are you going to do while she's in bed?
Right.
And if she was already in bed at the house, what difference is if she slept at that house or she slept at another house? She was already in bed.
And-
she didn't leave an event to go to another event, Ramona Singer. She literally went to bed while they were all partying. It was too loud, so she got up and she left.
She removed herself.
So why
Right.
did that matter?
It doesn't. It should not matter. And she's back by the time they're basically up and making their way downstairs to congregate in the kitchen in the morning.
yeah. No
Like,
food.
There's no
water. Fend for yourself.
I mean, I think it is poppycock.
Well, and like Aaron,
It is.
I thought was really insufferable this episode. But
Yeah.
I'll give a little latitude that if anyone is a little bit upset, maybe it's Aaron because maybe she's feeling a certain type of way, like, oh, it's my
Sure.
house. I'm feeling like, she didn't like my house. I'm not making it comfortable. Like my feelings are kind of hurt. I mean, I don't believe that, but like I'm giving her a little latitude. Why do the other women care?
Let me tell you why they care.
it's
Because
bullshit.
they are holding this woman, they're putting a pussy on the pedestal. I love Jenna Lyons. I will put
Yeah.
her pussy on a pedestal all the goddamn day. I'm still treating her like a human being,
Right.
like a normal person, a civilian. Whatever it is that I feel like is happening, they're putting her on this Jenna, and I'm saying this in bunny ears, guys, this Jenna Lyons pedestal. She
I agree.
is Jenna Lyons J. Crew. She is Jenna Lyons correspondent at the Oscars. She is Jenna Lyons who used to live here. She is Jenna Lyons who is, rubs elbows with Beyonce. Make no mistake, the woman has celebrity friends.
100%.
But they're the ones that are putting her, it's not even to a high esteem. I hold them all to a high esteem. But they're putting the pussy on the pedestal. They're
Yeah.
making Jenna Lyons out to be this person who isn't just everyday and normal like they are. They seem to think that she is like the Anna Wintour of
New York society.
well, ready to wear. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
they do. They think that she's the Anna Wintour of ready to wear. So when she leaves to go home because she has an early morning call, they immediately perceive that as, oh, she's better. She's uppity. She can't stay here. She can't. Which, need I remind you, she is the only one who showed up wearing jeans, cashmere, and
Yeah.
like sweater knits, and what's the pieces that you have, like a knit, like a sweater
Like a cable,
top? Yeah,
like a cardigan sort of thing.
yeah,
or
like she's just being very casual, like jeans, sneakers.
Yeah.
And still they're like, oh, Jenna, casual. It's like, guys, yes,
do you
she is a
expect?
forefront in fashion, but every forefront in fashion does not dress that way all the time.
Yeah.
Look at Andre Levon Talley. He's not always wearing big, capes. Even Anna Wintour, guys, wears pants. I'm sure somebody's gonna come at me and say she
Has
wears
never worn a
but
pant in her
You
life.
understand what I'm saying? Like, look at
Yeah.
everyday celebrities. We see Scarlett Johansson on the red carpet. Then I see Scarlett Johansson picking at a pimple, waiting in line to get a Starbucks.
Yeah.
And like, I don't even know where I would say that she would be in Tribeca. You know what I mean? Like, we're all everyday people.
Yeah.
And so I think that they hold her to this, honestly, really unfair standard.
Yeah,
that
I
I'm like,
agree.
she's just like, and they keep saying this, Jenna Lyons. Just Jenna, guys. Her name is
know.
fucking Jenna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, go.
I get the sense that a lot of this is like these new women on a new show thinking that there is an expectation to carry the torch in terms of petty drama.
Sure.
And I don't think Jenna subscribes to this at all, but I think that there is a level of their baby reptilian brains misfiring on how this actually works. And they're harping on the wrong things and they're giving too much emphasis to the wrong things. Like, this does not matter.
No.
If Aaron felt a little bit of a way and it became one conversation like, oh, I just don't want you to feel uncomfortable in my house. Like, sure, I can give a little latitude for that. But the way that this was perpetuated and sprinkled throughout the entire episode,
Yeah.
which Bryn does have something to do with that, but for kind of decent reason, because we'll get to, her kind of argument against this, the double standard of it all.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that really tracks.
I don't think either one of them should be getting reprimanded for not wanting to go to Catch. It's Catch, guys. Catch is where they're
definitely
at. And you know
fucking
what?
Catch.
I'll tell you what the fuck right now. You don't want to see my ass at Catch with the fucking non-silk flowers and the and whatever in New York City. It is passe and overplayed. And the fact
It
that they're
is.
blurring it out is beyond. I don't know why. No one wants to be at
I don't know what that
Catch.
is.
Being at Catch is like, what's another, like going to Rayo's? No, we
Well,
talked about that.
No,
It's like,
Is it because it's uppity, but it's not cool? Why?
Well,
why
okay,
well, like, it's very trend-setting restaurants. You have places like Carbone, Pastis. Let's look at Pastis for a second.
Okay.
I'll let the New Yorker chime in, but Pastis is an establishment that's been around for how long?
it's probably been around for 25, 30 years. And it's
As good then as it is now.
Yeah.
Catch is a flash in the pan. Everybody come to Catch. Catch is in
Catch-
Vegas. Let me put it that way.
Catch was a very trendy restaurant that opened up, probably 15 years ago. And it was the CNB scene, who's who, rubbing elbows with celebrities, all that shit.
Okay.
But it was trendy for a few years, and then it's still there. It's still a nice restaurant. There's a lot of spin-offs. There's one in LA, there's one in Vegas, there's one in Miami, there's Catch Steak in Aspen.
I think you would probably want to be seen more at Catch Aspen and Catch LA.
Yes.
And Chili's?
And Chili's. But it's not like a New York staple, like, a Carbone, an El Molino, a
Yeah.
Pastis, a Balthazar.
Oh, Balthazar. We were just talking about.
Balthazar and Pastis are like their sister restaurants.
Very good food.
Great.
Balthazar, great brunch.
Best brunch in
Okay.
the city, in my opinion. Best Bloody Marys. So fucking good.
Very good, very good.
But yeah, like Catch is a little passe. So when they were bleeping it in the first episode and like, what, I'm not a model in 2004, like that's the
Got it.
era of
And
it.
it's just Bryn doing that because Bryn was in that scene, and that's just what that is.
And Bryn is a bitch, and we love her for
Yeah.
that.
I like it.
I do too.
Bryn is like super bitchy and like in the best possible way.
She never seems very serious.
Yeah,
And
it's very
never
light.
It's not mean spirited.
That's
Yeah.
what it
And
is.
that's what it is. She's just snarky.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So I'm here for that. But
Well.
yeah, you know,
Yeah.
this housegate is
Goof troop, but I
Goof
do
troop.
totally agree with you, JJ, that it's like she, for lack of a better term, she's the popular girl. Even though she doesn't want to be. She's not trying to be, but she is. She's the
she's the
popular
most
girl.
awkward
And-
popular girl.
Yeah, and it's like I think I said this in the first episode. I felt like Bravo was maybe trying to pin her as like the lead, where everyone wants to be friends with her because I think they're going to perceive that the audience is really going to like her,
And that
right?
she has the most connections.
Right. So yeah, she has the most connections. The audience is going to love her. So we want to be friends with Jenna. I think that also is where it's coming from, since none of these friendships are really rooted in anything authentic so far.
This is feeling very Denise Richards, her first season.
Okay. Yeah.
Everyone was like, they want to be friends with Denise, the Bond girl. Mm-hmm. They want to be connected.
Yeah.
It's true.
And they lit her up and threw her in the garbage. Second season. Go fuck yourself for that.
I know, it was tough.
I call it the red season. I can't ever watch it. Brings me too
Sadness.
much anger.
Does it?
Yeah.
And then what I also found to be really obnoxious is that apparently because Jenna leaves, Jenna then is, anointed to cook breakfast for everyone. What the fuck is that? And they meant it. The shakshuka.
I mean, it's ridiculous. By the way, I missed that. I didn't realize that they anointed her to cook breakfast.
They didn't. They were just being it was kind of several of them. Uba is the one that I remember hearing specifically, but they were like, well, if you're going to leave and come back early, then why didn't you make breakfast for all of us?
That's shit.
Oh, I
Because she's
missed
up
that
early.
too.
I misunderstood that.
And Jenna's response was, you guys can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
You're adults. You
Like,
could have made
you-
breakfast.
Yes,
Just
exactly.
because I
Like-
said I didn't want it doesn't mean that you can't.
Because she didn't want that. She
Right.
didn't want the breakfast before working out, which not for nothing. If anybody knows what a shakshuka is, it's basically like the way that I look at it, it's like not a tartine, but like what is it when it's like all the eggs and the thing and
You're thinking of a quiche.
not
maybe?
a quiche.
No.
I'm not thinking of a quiche. I know that you're
It's
thinking
like an egg bake.
Yeah, but a quiche has like a crumb.
Right.
This is not that. It's like it's a not a tartine, but it's in a grill and you put all the eggs and you mix it all in.
Yeah.
It's essentially the thing that Sarah Jessica Parker makes in The Family Stone.
Oh,
You get it
right.
ready, and then you put the tomatoes and things
yeah.
on top of
Yes.
it.
Like
yes,
a
yes, yes,
casserole,
yes, yes.
kind of.
Yeah, it's like a casserole that you bake, and so all the
Yeah, it
Wouldn't
like
you
fluffs
say?
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the shakshuka, it's super heavy because it is. It's
Yes.
like that bake. It's Moroccan, I want to say, or Turkish. It's Middle Eastern.
And isn't there dairy in it?
there might be some
Like a-
dairy,
like
but
a crema.
yeah, there's a crema, but it's like in a tomato sauce. It's like a tomato sauce base with eggs cracked in and other like veggies. I think there is a cream base as well, and like a ton of spices like cumin and paprika.
That's a
and,
lot
like it's
to go-
very
Yeah,
Can you
it's
imagine?
very heavy, is what it sounds like.
Could you imagine like eating that and then working out and then burping up all the
I
spices?
want to
No.
die.
You just don't do that.
Well, with their workout, they probably could have done it, but for the
Well,
most part, yeah.
In hindsight, it's 2020. Yeah.
By the
But
way,
it's
yes.
a dish that when you slice and dice it, it's a meal for each person.
Yeah.
Legit.
It's a lot of food, which some people wanted to eat, some people didn't. And I guess because Jenna doesn't want to eat that, everyone's like,
Well, yeah, no one eats because Jenna didn't want it.
Well,
what,
it's
like,
not.
what's the deal? I don't understand. Am I missing
They're
something?
acting like they're in high school.
If
They
you
really
don't eat,
are.
I don't eat. It's like, eat.
You're fucking grown ass adults.
Also-
eat your fucking breakfast if you want it. Make the breakfast. Jenna Lyons saying that she doesn't want to eat breakfast before working out should not be the
No.
the gospel in
No.
stone of whether or not you were able to do something. It's just absurd.
Also, Erin, terrible host. And
She's
I
the worst.
And I need almost nothing. But the two complaints, which I thought were valid, were that it was incredibly cold. Oh, the heater's broken. And you also have no Wi-Fi. Like, those are actually she
Wait.
makes it seem like these women are complaining
Wait,
about
what?
like not having a butler, like something Ramona would do.
Wait, I missed that.
At the beginning, everyone's
I
like,
thought
"Oh,
the
it's
Wi-Fi
so
was
cold."
out, but I thought maybe the Wi-Fi was just being finicky.
That's what I thought too. I
Well,
thought that
I'm just
what's
going
her
off
face
of
was
what
having problems
Sai
connecting
or
to it.
somebody-
Sai was having
yeah.
problems connecting to it.
But they, they wake up and it's like frozen. And then they come down and she's like, oh, sorry, yeah, the heater's out. It's broken. Sorry.
Well, she's cozied up in her bedroom with the
Yeah.
heater working.
Why not
sleep-
tell your guests
you can
that
sleep
like
in here
the
with me
heater's-
tonight.
the heat is out upstairs?
That's
Put
fucked.
extra blankets.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like kind of like
Get little
basic
space heaters.
basic needs, and I just like she makes it. Wow, can't please these women, but you're also not doing anything.
Well, this is why this eerily reminds me of Kathy Hilton looking for a utensil, and Kyle's like, "Get over it! Can't believe you need utensils to eat."
Oh yeah,
Remember?
in Aspen, yeah.
And like Mauricio, and like, whatever, Kathy. Fend for yourself. Eat with your feet.
Grill the corn on your own. We're boiling it. Butter on corn? How dare you ask?
You steam that water in your sink in your bathroom and you boil that corn. Get over it. And we're all like, she's just looking for a
But
fork.
that made sense because there's it had nothing to do with the fork, and we can see that because of the history of those of these people. We don't have that history with
They
this
didn't want
fucking
to give her
group.
any
Got
utensils
none.
so she wouldn't do dental work. Let's just call it what it is. Okay. No,
The doctor was not allowed in that day.
but doesn't that kind of remind me? She's like, is there a napkin? Eat your shorts, Kathy. Wipe it on your $2,000 shirt.
And they put her down in that
Wipe 'em on
room,
your slippers,
that
your
basement room with-
pedantic
with
slippers.
no windows. That room she slept in was so scary looking.
Seriously, it was underground.
like, I don't know if you've ever read the book Flowers in the Attic, but it was very that. It was very that. And I was like, what if she
Oh my
walked in with her
God.
brother and then they have to procreate?
Oh
What's the deal?
God.
Oh God.
But yeah,
And that's how we got Morgan Wade.
Origin story review.
Sorry, I can't help it. If you guys don't know what Flowers in the Attic is, I don't have time to tell you. Google it. But I just could not understand. I'm like, they're just cold.
Yeah, she just doesn't care.
Look,
Which
we
is-
had to endure
is
10
fine,
seasons
but-
of Ramona not having any heat. If those women can fucking do it, these
Yeah.
women can shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
can.
I just
And I am doing a crossover comparison.
Yeah.
Well, but what else do we have? We can't compare it to last season because we don't have a
I know,
last
but you
season of
shouldn't
this.
do that. But I'm just saying,
I don't
Ramona,
care.
not Ramona, Sonia didn't have heat forever in Grey Gardens.
Oh yeah,
Here's what I'm going to say. I didn't know that the heat was just out. I didn't know that.
she said it was broken.
Yeah. It was upstairs only.
Yes, upstairs only.
What the fuck? So did
Maybe
Jenna
she-
Lyons get the best room or not?
Yeah, I think her room was
She was cold.
She was
said she
cold.
was freezing.
So fuck off, Aaron. Look,
She
I
doesn't
like
have
you,
heat.
but you've got to
It's
get
loud.
on with it.
Get on with
Nebbishy.
it. Nebbishy.
Sorry.
Nebbishy.
And then to wake up and I don't even think they have coffee. And then they just don't have anything.
Well, they
And-
do have coffee because Jenna brought it.
Well,
for
but
them.
yeah, but they don't have coffee there.
She literally walks in with coffee and they're like, fuck you for leaving. We're cold. Now
give me
I
the
get it.
coffee.
Maybe they're mad at her. Let's call it what it is. Outside of Aaron, they're really mad that she got to sleep in warmth.
That she
probably.
had heat.
I guarantee fucking it. That's what it is.
Yeah. By the way,
Well, I'd
you're
rather
probably
think
that's
right.
what it is.
They're like,
They're
fuck
resentful.
you.
Yeah, I'd
we
rather
had to
them
be
just say that.
freezing all night,
God, okay.
shattering.
Then we have to get to breakfast because they haven't even gotten there yet. And Sai has to remind Jessel that she was a raging bitch about the Christmas tree. How do we feel about it? Now that we got the flashbacks, we got a little bit more into it. Do we think that Jessel was in the right or the wrong? We also talked about, we prefaced that with everyone kept pushing her body and her sex and hop on it, ride this pony, genuine, lick it, good. But like, why does it matter? Do we give her a free pass for bitching about the lingerie when I know that Betsy and you and I felt that she was being really pushed into a corner to talk about her sexually lack thereof?
Well, I think as it lives on the show, because she's not telling us that she's insecure and she's not telling us, I mean, I feel like we can see it.
Yeah.
But because she's not using those words and it's not coming from that type of place.
Sure.
Yeah, I would think that she's acting like a bitch.
Yeah.
If it's playing out on TV the way like, oh, well, this is ugly, like, oh, these colors, If she's saying, I just don't feel good. I don't feel good about my body right now. Like, it's not really my style. And it's just not making me feel good about myself. I would hope that these women would be like, okay, we get it.
100%.
We're not going to take it personally.
You would think that they would pick up what she's putting down.
Well,
but
they're not.
They're not. Yeah, so given what she said about the lingerie, which she did touch on it last week, but I feel like we got a little bit more in depth with that. She was acting a little sophomoric.
Yeah, she was.
Like, oh, hit it, Christmas tree.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
If she came out and said, Guys, you know what? Look, I'm a little insecure about my body, and it didn't feel the most flattering to me. But Jenna, I really appreciate the gesture. That'd be one thing. But it was sophomoric is the perfect word. She was being very sophomoric, and honestly,
it was really
kind of rude and
really
ill-mannered. Like,
and
I'm
even
sorry.
the way she's talking about it.
It's kind of like a
in
mini
front
tantrum.
Of Jenny.
It's like a little mini
Jenny.
In front of Jenny from the block.
McJenny.
In front of Jenna, the way that she's even trying to defend herself is like,
But
what?
not defending. She's like, like being like, oh, I know, like it's the thought that counts, but it's also
was
really
ugly.
ugly. Like,
Yeah.
Come on, it was a gift. You don't like it, don't wear it. You don't have to continue to harp on it and continue. And
It's
Jenna
a large.
it's a large.
No woman
Jenna
wants to
says
see
it in
that.
her interview bite, though. She says, like, Jessel is on one hand, trying to be like, oh, no, like it's a gift, but then going back and doing the exact same thing and talking shit. Like,
Yeah.
get over it.
Yeah.
Or say, look, guys, I know that you may not get it, but I'm insecure about my body after having kids, and it's something that I struggle with. And, I get that it's a haha funny joke. Like, I haven't had sex with my husband in 2 years, but like, it's something that I'm working on.
Yeah.
And then if they were assholes, then they're assholes.
Yeah.
But she's not doing that.
I mean, I guess in fairness, it's the third episode. She would probably rather come off as a petty bitch than someone who's insecure, right? So,
yeah, probably.
I mean,
true.
she's playing those cards.
Yeah, and then here's another thing where they put Jenna Lyons, because that's what they call her, on a pedestal where they're like, why isn't Jenna Lyons saying anything? Guys, because she's new to the group, and yes, her feelings are hurt, but very much in the same way that Jessel isn't telling the group to stop talking about her sexuality because she's getting to know them and she's trying to understand the dynamics, is for the very reason why Jenna Lyons is really only giving so much in the sense of, yeah, my feelings were hurt, and then that's kind of it. Because we all have tact. We don't all need to yell and scream at each other just because something hurts our feelings.
Correct.
You know?
Correct.
Yeah, I
think
need
it's
her,
too much.
I need her to do a little more, though.
You do? Okay,
Yeah.
so we were saying that you were into Jenna, but this episode you felt a little...
I like Jenna, and I feel like I would like her a lot in real. Like if I met her in real life, I don't find her blending in with this type of show in this group. It's not landing
Okay.
right now for me. Again, 3 episodes. I'm not going to go like over top or whatever they say. I'm not going to go overboard because I think she's interesting. Like I would follow her life and, outside of the show, her with these women. I don't think she would hang out with these women. I don't feel
I know.
any chemistry at all. Leave it in. It's fine. I don't. Like
Neither do
I
I.
think she's kind. She does seem incredibly awkward. She seems nervous because I
We're
can tell
trying.
this because I can tell this is out of her comfort zone.
Yeah.
And it's not
Yes.
just about being on TV. I think being in a group of women like this is out of her comfort zone.
Yeah. I don't
But-
think she has like a group of girlfriends
Well,
like this in this way.
I
Yeah.
can speak for myself, and not to say that lesbians don't also hang out with people who are
Sure.
heterosexual or bisexual,
Yeah.
fluid, pan, vers, whatever
Yeah.
you want. Okay. Or whatever you are, rather, Jesus Christ. Whatever you want, like it's a choice. But, Jesus Christ, please burn me at the stake, guys. Like Joan of Arc, the real gay. But what I will say is that when you are a part of these queer subcultures, it's just a different type of grouping.
Yeah.
I have a lot of straight friends, but for the most part, you're hanging out with your queers.
Yeah.
It's not that these women are not that, but I can sense there's not a comfortability in that way. And I think that especially coming out later and you're surrounded by your gays and you're just kind of used to that. This is going to be a little fish out of water,
Yeah.
for lack of a better way to say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's also like a little bit older than the rest of the women.
Yeah.
They have different like reference points in theory. And I
They don't
don't
understand leaving to get good sleep.
literally.
They
I
didn't know
also-
who the tennis player. What was her name? That she brought up last episode. And no, I don't know. her.
Martina?
No.
Ooh.
The
Oh,
tennis,
Billie Jean
Thank
King.
you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
See,
yeah,
I'm part of
yeah.
the problem too because I didn't.
I'm sorry.
I was like, they didn't know who that person was. What was her name?
We keep cutting you off.
No,
Go
you're
ahead.
good. One thing that kind of strikes me, and that I don't think this is what Jenna thinks, right? So I want to make that clear. I think that Jenna is a little bit above the kind of petty girl drama.
Yeah.
I don't think she thinks she's above it, but I just think as a human, she's a little bit above that type of group antics that the rest of the girls, or the rest of the women rather, are very much kind of living in and trying to play up for housewives. I'll tell you what I could do. I could do a Kelly Catrone style, Kel on Earth type of show with Jenna Lyons.
Yes.
Yes.
I could.
That
Yeah.
I would fucking sign up for.
Yeah.
But I agree with Betsy that I don't think Jenna fits necessarily on this cast. And this is only 3 episodes in. That can absolutely shift. But I just don't see them kind of meshing in that way on a larger scale.
Yeah.
Yes, to the Kelly Catrone,
Right.
but like minus the
Abusive toxicity. I just
Yeah.
mean like a workplace,
Well-
like boss bitch,
Yeah. Where she gets to
maybe
be
not bitch,
or just bought that boss.
just boss.
bitch.
Yeah.
just
You
a
know, by the way,
boss.
if that's how you feel,
Nah,
I'm
it's
trying
not really.
To,
It's
like,
very
rewind
reductive.
myself.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say she did have the show on HBO Max, but it was more of a competition style show
Oh, which show was that?
for styling. Remember,
Oh,
like,
that's
it was
right.
styling with Jenna Lyons or something like
I
that.
completely forgot about that.
I know what it is. I'm not doing a good job off the top of my head, but I could see a Kelly Catrone docu-follow
Akku
with
type
her
of, yeah.
and her partner, and like, what is it like in the day to day of Jenna Lyons since she's left J.
J.
Crew?
Crew.
Yeah.
What is she doing now? She has a new partner. She has a son. She's co-parenting. We don't need to necessarily see the husband, but
Yeah.
her partner's co-parenting. Like, what is that? Like, what
That's
is
an
that
interesting
like?
show. to
Yeah.
me.
I'm
She's
looking for a
interesting.
lesbian show, guys. Like, we don't have that representation out
We really
there.
don't.
And the reality is, with the way that the landscape is right now from a financial fiscal standpoint, we're probably not going to get one anytime soon because the first to go are LGBTQ plus shows.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is.
Sad, but it's true.
It's really sad. It's
sad.
really, really sad. But yeah, I don't disagree. I didn't really think about it like that. But yeah, she's not meshing in the same way. But we still are only on this one first cast trip.
It's true.
So I
It's
need
true.
to
Yeah, I'll give it some grace, and I will.
like next episode, I need them to end this cast trip in the first, second, third act, and then like the fourth,
Yeah.
fifth, and the sixth, we need to be elsewhere.
We need to be back in
Because,
the city.
Yeah, because we've had enough of this, and it's good. We've got texture. We're getting some conflict. We're
Mm-hmm.
stoking the fire, if you will. They're not that we're looking for conflict, but we're getting the dynamics of the women.
Yeah.
We need to move on to other things.
Agreed.
But Bryn, we haven't even talked about Bryn
I know
showing up.
Bryn, thank God, showed up
Yeah.
in time for yoga. I know we're jumping around a little bit,
Yeah.
but she showed up for yoga and started kind of ordering everyone around with the hot yoga instructor.
Which I think is interesting
Yeah.
because she's a certified yogi.
Yeah.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh.
Didn't know.
I also feel like we don't know
That's right.
anything
Yeah.
about her yet. Maybe we'll learn.
We don't. Instagram told me.
Okay.
Instagram tells you a lot these days.
Sure does.
Supposedly.
Sure does. But thank God, because Bryn brings much needed like levity and comic relief.
God, thank
Yeah.
God.
It's just
Bryn is great.
There's a lot of
Bryn's
stiffness.
fun.
There's a lot of stiffness, and maybe it's the cold. I don't know what it is, but this group's kind of stiff.
Yeah.
With the exception of Uba, of course.
Uba is just
Well, think about
Hysterical.
who's the least stiff.
Well, Bryn.
And
Uba.
Uba.
they're single.
Oh.
I think that has a lot to do with that.
That's interesting.
Well, that's silly. But I didn't.
But
I
you're
didn't. I
right.
didn't think
but,
about that.
but it is
You're
because
right.
the other women, they're married. They have their house in the Hamptons.
They have children.
Do I sound like Luann de Lesseps?
Yeah,
Now-
a little bit.
JJ told me, and I'm going to make this very clear. This has nothing to do with how she looks, but I was floored. JJ told me that Erin is 35.
Maybe at the time of filming of the show, yes.
Well, this is what I'm going to say. Erin's beautiful. This has nothing to do with like what she looks like. I really thought she was like early 40s.
Shame.
And I think JJ was like, it's because of how she carries herself.
It is.
It
like
is.
she seems like 41, 42, like, great
Easy.
style, all that. But like, I think it is like, she just seems older than like 35, 36 to me.
Yeah, I think it's the way that she carries herself. But then in glimpses, when she gets upset for leaving her house, that's when I'm reminded that she's 28.
She's aged in reverse.
Yeah, I just want the women to kind of loosen up in a way where, like, it's okay to feel a certain type of way about Jenna leaving your house, but we don't need to lean in and crutch on that in the same way we would because you saw Aviva want to invite her husband to an all-girls trip. Or you saw Ramona freak the fuck out because Alex wanted to invite Simon to an all-girls dinner.
Right.
I understand the comparisons, and I'm not saying that they're necessarily doing that. I think that what they're feeling is what they're feeling. But at the same time, I'd venture to also guess, like, would Aaron get this upset if it were another event that weren't on television?
I don't know.
I think, yeah.
I don't think so.
I
Like,
think that's the deal.
I want to
Exactly.
I want to kind of just put this out there, which I think that we should have, and I think that Dorinda threw an event similarly to this, is that I think it's fun to have an adult sleepover.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it on Ultimate Girls Trip, although they're forced in that environment, so they're not going anywhere. But you can have an adult sleepover in New York City. It's not that the Hamptons is not a destination to go to. It is. It's not that it's not a vacation town. It is.
Right.
But if you juxtapose what the Hamptons is to the city, it's no different, in my personal opinion, than if Aaron were to have thrown a pajama party, slumber party in the city, and Jenna lives down the block and then saying, hey, I'm just going to pop over home real quick and then I'll be right back. To me, it's no different.
Yeah.
I don't understand. It's not that Jenna left to go and stay at a hotel.
Right.
It's like she literally just left to go home.
Yeah.
That to me is what I don't understand what the big deal is.
I don't understand what the big deal is.
Because it's not a
either.
big deal. And that's why it's
Right.
coming across very silly.
It's
Because
not.
it's not a big deal at all.
And then that brings us to the next thing, which Bryn feels slighted because she felt that Aaron really held her feet to the fire for not joining them at
The catch dinner.
the catch dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And she feels that Jenna just kind of got a slap on the wrist, which then, Aaron goes on to say, no, I was upset with her. We had our words out. She apologized and we moved on. Now, what's your opinion? Do you think that Bryn, her feet were held to the fire more so than Jenna was? And does it fucking matter if she didn't go to the dinner? Like, I don't understand here. Like, I don't give a fuck. But that's just me, and I'm trying to look at this with objective eyes. Also, was this dinner on camera?
No.
No.
I don't give a fuck then. Go ahead.
Exactly.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I interrupted you like an asshole.
Remember, I speculated this was the dinner for them to get together to have something to talk about in the show.
Right.
It's like a
Getting to know each other.
Yeah, getting to know each other.
Okay.
So
I mean, I don't think it's totally the same thing. I understand why Bryn is peeved
Same. Because it's ridiculous.
because it's ridiculous.
She didn't want
Who
to go to
cares?
catch.
Right. Now, look, I get like you have a dinner date, or dinner plans, you say you're going to be there and then you just bail and you don't show up, and I see on social media that you're off somewhere else. Yeah, that can be annoying.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
yeah.
Am I watching the same show? I missed
At
that.
Shea Cipriani. That's where Sai and it was Sai or
Yeah.
was it Jessel? It was Sai and Bryn went to Shea Chip and instead of going to catch. Fine.
That's a way better place to go.
By the way,
to.
Well-
way better. Talking about establishments that
No,
never Cipriani's is like
we
the
talked
OG.
about it, but the Shea Cipriani is the membership Cipriani.
Right, it's the members
which is
only
the one that
club.
Taylor Swift is a part of. She's no longer a part of that, but
Oh.
But like I get being annoyed, but Jenna showed up. She was the first one there to Erin's house in the Hamptons. She was the first one to arrive. She's played ball. She brought gifts. She did all of these things. She went to bed and then she went home to sleep because she didn't want to be cold. It was loud. She had a 6:30 a.m. call and came back the next morning. I don't think the reality is I don't think either of their feet should have been held to the fire in the same way. I think Erin was petty on both fronts. But I don't think it's necessarily apples to apples, if you will.
Sure.
Because she just bailed, Bryn just bailed on plans versus Jenna was there. She just left and came back, guys. Not a big fucking deal.
I don't want Erin hosting an event.
No more.
Like 3 or 4 episodes. I'm good.
No
Season.
more.
Well, if we're gonna have to be under, a magnifying glass with everything that we do, while she gets to sit in her 1,200 square foot bedroom with heat, I'm good. I'm not. I'm good listening from the peanut gallery.
Yeah, same.
Like, no offense to her, but actually every offense to her.
Yeah.
If I'm not comfortable, here's what I'm gonna say. 18 and up. That means no one tells me what to do. If I'm not comfortable being somewhere, that's it. I am out. I don't need the likes of Erin, who we're not going to talk about it on this podcast because Betsy brought it up. I'm good on Erin being the judge, jury, and executor on what is appropriate Emily posts because you only served caviar on crackers and did not give anything else for them to eat.
Seriously.
And because no one wanted breakfast right before working out, you just said, fuck it to the shashuka and just threw the baby out with the bathwater. So nobody ate. What's that about?
It just seems very selfish. Well,
you don't drink?
Because I like when they got dinner that first night, she's like, we're only having like a small little meal. We're going to be eating at 7. Just because that's what you do doesn't mean that's what everyone else does. So have food out for your guests, even if you're not eating the food. You know, you're not wanting to work out or you wanting to eat before you work out. You can do that. Give them a fucking option.
You have a platter of food out, it's like croissants, some
yes, it doesn't have to be like a private
yogurt, just a crudité. You just have things out.
Yeah.
And also, why not bring in a chef just to be there to cook omelets or just to be there on standby to cook for them?
Yeah.
The truth of the matter is, it's not the segment or the show who is planning all this. It's what Aaron wants. And then it's what we end up executing for them, because that's how it goes. But we do not set the stage for what they're eating, who they're eating, what they're drinking, what they're not drinking, if they're on Ozempic, if they're working out, if they're sleeping, if they're wearing a robe, if they're wearing Christmas tree lingerie. You choose all of that. Aaron would come to us and say, this is what I want. This is what I want to get.
And you execute it.
And you have a budget, and here we go.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Aaron feeds people like birds. That's just what it is. She either wants to give you no food, or she wants to stuff your face with some shashuka, which no one wanted to eat.
Yeah.
So then they starved after working out.
Yeah. I remember Sai at the restaurant. She's like, I'm about to eat my hand.
They're hungry.
Yeah.
Like, where are the fucking snacks?
I know.
Yeah.
Where is the crudité in between meals?
Yeah.
It's like a
A
staged
cheese
house.
platter, for fuck's sake.
Well, we've
Even
been
a
burned on
cheese
that.
platter.
We've been burned on that before with the cheese platter.
But here's what I'll say too. The other thing she could have done is when they were all driving up last episode, she could have said, hey guys, I'm going to have a little snack for us when you get here because we're having dinner at 7.
She's never
But if
hosted.
you want to grab something on the way, if you haven't eaten, by all means.
Well, that's why I say she's selfish, because she's not even thinking about other people.
That's right.
This is good enough for me, and they should like this.
Oh,
Miss
Pat.
Patricia and Sutton would never.
Never.
Right.
Never.
Yeah. I would love to hear from them.
Kyle would be in the kitchen being like, shh. I want them to think that I did it. Remember when she did that Thanksgiving meal and she was like, hurry up, put all this away. I want them to think I cooked it.
For all I say about Kyle can host.
Kyle
know
can
how to
host.
host.
She can host.
They know how to host.
They know how to host. And not to do a comparison hangover, but I am.
That's okay.
I'm just like, Aaron, look. Okay, let's go around. Let's give it a score.
What? Out of what?
Out of 10, I guess.
Out of 10. Her hosting.
2.
Ooh,
Yeah. I was going to say 3. 2.5, 3.
Yeah, I was going to say 3.
It's not a 0 because there is a house.
Right, and there are
But-
rooms.
There's
And then-
lodging. There's lodging.
And then she
lodging.
did finally get the fire going at the end of the episode. So 3.
that little baby nothing fire prepping.
That's
tank.
okay. That's something.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm watching it right now because we have it playing in the background. If that woman is lifting that propane tank that high, that means it's half empty.
I was thinking the same
yeah,
thing
they're-
when watching
they're
it.
very-
They're
half fucking empty.
they're
they are
very
hauling that
heavy.
around like an empty fucking tank.
Yeah, because they literally are holding it around like you need to get that motherfucker filled.
Yeah.
That's right.
Or
And that
you're
was the
gonna have-
backup.
Yeah, or you're
Yeah.
gonna have another heatless night in that cauldron.
Yeah. The propane, they're so heavy.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. And listen, the second night they did get that chef or whatever. So I mean,
The
3,
sushi, like omakase
Yeah.
style.
but
thing.
overall bad.
Yeah.
And also,
I'm starving.
And also, just
I'm
like
hungry.
I'm hungry
watching
just thinking
this.
about it.
yeah, I'm hungry too. It's also don't eat, Aaron. No, it's also like I don't even know what it is. I've lost my train of thought.
That's because the executive
Just
producer
edit
keeps
this
playing with the
out.
cat.
I keep on trying to distract him so he doesn't go on the board again.
You know what? No.
Okay.
Like that woman who was told she had to pop her boob back in the lazy river
What?
at a theme park. She was trying to breastfeed her child in a lazy
Oh.
river at a theme park. The lifeguard said,
Pop it back in.
pop it back in.
All right,
Interesting.
I'm popping.
No. We
It
don't.
back.
We here at Reality Bites, we encourage all women to pull their breast out to feed their child.
Okay.
But-
Just not to
You
play
do
with cats
you,
with
baby.
strings.
Yeah, I don't know, but
and then the sippy cups.
just. Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
Sai comes out with
would
the sippy
be,
cups.
It would be one thing if like Erin seemed like she had some compassion, like, oh, I'm so sorry, like the heat's out. Gosh, I'm sorry. Let me see what I can do. She just doesn't
Any
give a
mention.
fuck. She doesn't give a
Nothing.
fuck.
Guys,
It comes across like, oh, well, they're just complaining. No,
well, can we also talk about Sai on the first night of the strips, like caviar on potato chips? But then she comes out with the kids' sippy cups that she says have been
Not
gnawed off
on.
at the end and gives them that to serve their alcohol. You know,
what
I
the
need to know-
fuck?
where are we at? Where does the pendulum swing, guys? I need to know, okay?
Where does the buck stop? I don't understand.
Are we Tamara, Emily Simpson doing fucking slip and slides with Veuve? Or are we caviar on potato chips? I don't know where to go. Are we Kathy with caviar on a baked potato? Are we Jenna Lyons in her cute, 2-bedroom, 1-bath bungalow?
Right.
Where does the line drawn?
Not for nothing. You know who else serves caviar on potato chips?
Fucking Miss Patricia.
Miss motherfucking Patricia
Goodbye.
Altschul.
Bye. That's it. End scene.
Always.
Yeah.
She gets the potato chips. She puts the caviar on.
talk
It's
to
actually
me.
in a scene with she and Madison last season or
Of
the season
course.
before? Last season.
It was last season.
Yeah.
Of course.
If she's doing it, I think we're good.
If Miss
Also-
Pat does it, if it's good enough for Miss Pat, it is good enough for those hosts.
Yeah.
Don't hold me to this, but I'm also pretty sure that Miss Pat was also invited to Truman Capote's black and white party. So
She absolutely was.
goodbye.
Yeah.
So,
Andre Leon Talley is one of her best friends.
I know. We're done. We're done.
Enough.
RHONY, we're out. No, I'm kidding. But anyway,
I want
all
a
in
new
all,
RHONY anchored by Miss Patricia Altschul.
Here's what
Yeah,
I'll,
really.
Here's what I'll say. All in all, I'm still encouraged. I want us to get out of the Hamptons.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I thought this was going to be, I thought we were leaving at the end of this episode because I thought it was going to be very quick, and we're not. We're leaving next episode.
Yeah.
And I'm ready. I'm ready to get back to
Well,
the city. We need to get a little
yeah.
bit more of their interpersonal dynamics.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, because it is nice to see them all together because they don't know each other.
Sure.
It's nice to see them all together, but we also don't know them at all as individuals.
Correct.
So we need
Exactly.
to get the background stories.
I need to get back into the idiosyncrasies.
Yeah, so we need to see them on their day to day so we can start to really understand who these women are. So then it makes more sense when they come together in a group and fight about, you left my house in the middle of the night.
Correct.
You know?
I think we were all excited to see them get out of town
To get
early
into
on
those
to get
idiosyncrasies.
into those idiosyncrasies that you do have a better chance of seeing on trips because there is a pressure cooker. They are all together. They don't go home at the end of the night, except for Jenna.
God, don't let her live it down. Don't let her live it down.
But at the same time, it's like we're 3 episodes in, 2 of the 3 have been out of the city. I'm ready to be back,
I'm ready to go back.
see more
So
of their
hopefully-
lives, get more intros, get
Yeah.
more kind of into their individual character traits so that then when we see them together,
I want to see them
it's-
eat.
I want to see them fucking
Yeah.
eat. I want to see the ladies who lunch that this franchise was built upon, okay?
Yeah, I want to see them to go to restaurants.
I mean,
and
Ugo's
stuff.
the only one eating, and it's a banana.
I know.
And every goddamn episode
Yeah.
in that interview, she is chomping
I
on that
love it.
banana.
And I want to see more of Bryn.
Same.
I'm just ready.
I want to see Bring go on a date.
Yeah.
Yeah. Executive producer and I typically disagree on certain stuff like this when we're producing shows, but
You know.
What, what would you want to see Bryn do?
it's a little low hanging fruit. Like right away, let's see your date. It's like that's not everybody. Not everybody's identity. I'm getting very Gloria Steinem here. Not everybody's identity is dating. Okay.
Did you
And
see how she was with the yoga
Trainer.
instructor?
I'd like her to rein it in just a skosh because there is a double standard.
Yes.
And it gets me a little uncomfortable. It's not that I don't think that men are hot or women are hot and I don't want to hit on them or anything like that. And it's not that I don't want to see that. But I think we get a little, Bryn, this has nothing against you. We adore you. But we get a little too close for comfort when we start saying things like, I want to do you. Because if the shoe were on the other foot, we wouldn't allow that type of behavior. Just as producers. That's where I'm coming from.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it
And so
does.
in some of those instances, I'm like, we're still in the land where it seemingly is okay. And I hate to sound like a Pollyanna, but that I'm like, let's rein it in. But yes, I do want to see her go out with the trainer. But I also want to see Uba go out with the trainer.
I'd rather see Uba go out with the trainer. I just meant from what Bryn has shown us and from what we have also heard the other women comment on in terms of her personality, she is very flirty. She came out of the womb flirting with the doctor.
yeah.
No,
you know,
I
like,
agree.
so that lends me to like she is one of the couple of single women on the show. I want to see her out. I want to see her in her social element.
Look, Bryn is the only one that liked our post where we tagged all the women. She was flirting.
Aw. We love
Bryn,
it.
we're flirting back.
kidding.
Yeah.
We're kidding. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. That's RHONY for you. Was there
RHONY.
anything else? I felt like there was something.
2 truths and a lie.
Oh.
Which, what I'm going to say, just high level.
Was that a game? Was that a real game of that?
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. I mean, people play it, I guess. But again,
No, I know.
People play that game to get to know each other.
Sure, that's what I
right.
meant. Was this a real game? What we watched?
No.
That's what I meant.
And also-
I was like, was that real?
It was all sex. It was I have had sex this, I've had sex
which
there, I've had
is
sex this.
the easy
I've
thing to
slept with
it's like the
this,
easy thing to go to.
I blew a
But-
guy in a closet. I blew a guy in a kitchen, and I blew a guy in a dining room. Which one is it? Which one is it?
Exactly.
Guess.
The dining room.
I don't know. I blew a guy in all of them, so who cares?
But okay,
true.
but here's my problem that I have with the game, and I'm really specifically looking at Aaron. The game.
You're looking at me when you say
Well,
it.
I am looking at you, but I'm directing this to Aaron.
Okay.
If the spirit of the game is kind of fun, lighthearted, but it's also like to kind of get to know each other, then when you reveal what your two truths and a lie is, and then you don't want to tell the story behind what one of the truths was, then I don't want you to use that as an example. Because she talks about like, oh, my lie was I forgot what her lie was, but one of the truths was that she had sex
the
in,
senator.
Senator,
or in it. I don't think it was with the senator. She said it was in the senator's office, which, I guess we can speculate. But
Could have been with a staffer.
yeah, but if you don't want to talk about that, you don't want to tell us a story, then I don't need that to be one of your truths.
Yeah, but that was
No
was a flex
questions.
for her.
Well,
I could sense that she was
but-
dying to tell that
Oh,
story.
yeah.
Dying to tell that story.
And then
Well,
she
failed.
inadvertently told it to her kids.
yeah, and it was kind of a flop. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
it
okay,
was.
cool.
That's what I mean. A fail.
We've all fucked a senator, okay?
No questions. No follow up questions. Okay.
But seriously, we all have.
I mean, we had to hear Jessel said she stuck a popsicle up her vagina, and she told that
I know,
story.
I posted the popsicle.
I saw
The
that.
very popsicle that she used on our Instagram.
It's actually-
Bombs away.
It's actually the same popsicle.
exactly.
It's the bomb pop.
It's the red, white, and blue, baby.
Very patriotic.
It's very English, wouldn't you say?
I would
I would say that. Very England.
Yeah.
England. Very
I don't know. What
patriotic.
did y'all think about the game?
I thought it was just low hanging fruit. I think that
I thought it was,
dinner housewife games are a staple, right? This
Mhm.
Jenna did it better in episode 1 with the cards.
Yeah.
Jenna did it better. I think this was just like, it was low hanging fruit. It was kind of bullshit. And it was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
It was a vehicle to get out the fact that she had sex in a senator's office.
Yeah, but if you're going to play the game and finish it.
I think that game should have been played when they were outside by the fire.
Agreed.
Not at the dining table. It's like, it's not that they can't be any more vulnerable. I think it's visual language. I think that if you're watching that and everything's very well lit, it just feels like, it's something that's a little bit more moody. Let's get in our PJs. Let's like drink wine. Let's hang out. In fact, I think a lot of the conversation that happened at dinner should have happened outside by the fire.
I agree.
Yeah.
That would have, because what it would have done to the audience, whether they are close knit or not, or whether they are really getting to know each other, unfortunately, visual language would allow for your viewers to think that that's happening because it is by fire. Because
Fireside
subconsciously,
chats are
Yes,
just
fireside
consciously more intimate.
Yeah.
yeah, and they could have said the same thing. I guarantee you, Betsy, you would have thought the two truths in a lie game would have been more fun outside by the fire than it was inside, even if the outcome was the exact same.
Yeah. I mean, I still thought some of it was fun. Like, I loved when, that's what her lie was. Her lie was, I had sex at a Knicks game, and Bryn goes, who hasn't? And I loved it. I loved it because you could see on Erin's face, she's like, oh, I guess that wasn't a cool one. Who
And
hasn't?
Bryn's like, I've had
God.
sex with a Nick at a Knicks
Yeah.
game, so fuck off.
Exactly. Erin, we need her to just loosen up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, loosen it up,
Unclench,
baby.
please.
Because she's cool. But again, it's literally what Betsy just said. Like, oh, she could tell that when Bryn said that. Like, oh, I guess what I said was uncool. It's not uncool. But here's what I'll say. And Erin, if you're listening, you haven't listened to us maybe from the beginning. I don't like to be edged. Okay. I need you to go all the way. Jenna Lyons is going to know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Actually, I can't say that. Not all of you. Heterosexual, bisexual, pansexual, you all will know what edging is. And Erin, if there's one thing I don't like is edging.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to edge me, but I want you to take me home.
Yeah, you got to
okay?
finish, baby. You got
You
to
gotta
finish.
take me home where the cows will sing, baby. Take me home. Country road.
Take me home to the place
That
I
Yeah.
I belong.
West Virginia. Here's what I'll say. There's more to the cliff than the edge. You got me? You got me, Erin?
Yeah.
And I'm
I
signing
want
off
to
with
like
that.
her, and I liked her the first episode.
Yeah.
She's just starting to annoy me
Yeah.
with stuff like this, and I also just don't know that I believe that it lives in truth. Like, I don't really believe that she even cares that Jenna left. You know what I mean?
We're
Like,
pushing a little too
Yeah.
hard.
it's just too
like
much
the
for me.
baby's been born and we're still being told to push. You know what I mean? Like the baby's born, baby.
It's
No.
out. I hear him
We
crying.
hear him crying. We're good. You don't
Yeah.
need to push anymore.
Yeah.
That's how it feels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing that I thought was because it was, I think, in the fireside chat, which is where this would belong, that I really did respond well to in this episode was Sai
Yep, I
opening
agree.
up. They're talking about the dollar store with the sippy cups and all
Yeah.
of that.
I resonated
And then
so hard with that.
Good
She
episode
did
for
open
her.
up.
Yeah.
Like, she opened up, and I was here for it.
No, I really
I
appreciate
had
that.
forgotten about that part, and I really loved that story because when she said that when you're poor, you don't like the dollar store, I knew exactly what that meant. It's not that I don't love a dollar store. I do. For me, it was more 99 cents living in LA and dollar store living at home, but it was never really a dollar. Anyway, I digress.
Right.
But I resonated that. It's not because I was ever embarrassed to shop at the dollar store, but I think that you always grew up wanting to not feel like you had to.
Right.
That it just really resonated. And Sai, I just want to say slow clap.
No, it was
Because I
the
love
best
that.
moment.
And that really, that was really relatable on a show where you wouldn't think that people who are of a different socioeconomic background are going to be able to relate.
Yeah.
Because that shows, they're all relatable to some degree. But I think with something like that, it was aspirational.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that.
I
And
agree.
And I really resonated with that. We don't really get to see that all that often.
Very, very
Yeah.
rarely. And especially given that in the first couple of episodes, Sai is really depicted as there's a level of frivolity in that she's a content creator and that's how she's
She's
an
a hustler.
influencer,
Yeah.
but she's a hustler.
Yeah.
Now I see that more.
We get it
And
now.
you get
we
it.
have
I
it.
mean, living on her own in New York City at 16.
In Brooklyn,
with
not
her
just
in her
New York
Brooklyn,
City.
like, her high school roommate, like you say college roommate very kind of casually, or my roommate when I was in my 20s, but my high school roommate,
Yeah.
it's because you were on your own. I mean,
Yeah.
she clawed her way to a very successful career,
And she
and
still
by her
stayed in
bootstraps,
school
and
when
she
she
stayed
wasn't
in
even
school.
enrolled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
It was
was
like
staying in her
homeless
friends'
at
dorms. Like, it really it did for her what I've been really wanting from the rest of the women, which is peeling back some layers and
Yes.
giving us a real window into their origin stories and who makes them, or rather, what makes them who they are today.
Right.
Yeah, their makeup. I mean, we've
Yeah.
gotten a little bit from Jenna.
Yeah, we have.
Which totally tracks. But I want to hear from Aaron.
Same.
We've gotten it from Jessel a little bit, but I want to hear from Aaron and I need to hear from Bryn.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like from the trailer for the next episode, it looks like Uba might have a moment where she's breaking
And
down.
Uba.
So
And
we're
Uba.
going to
Yeah.
see something there. But I will say, I one up everything y'all said. It was honestly my favorite moment
Yeah.
of the episode
Me too.
was Sai
Same.
talking about that.
And I can't believe I almost forgot about that.
And but it also I realized how like out of touch Erin is. Because
Yeah, she
before
is.
she like really got into the story, she was like, "Oh yeah, I love that other tree," and like she was laughing. And then even when Sai was like, "Yeah, but no, you don't love it when you have to depend on." I mean, what you just said, like when you have to
don't love
depend
it
on
when
it,
you have to
you
depend
don't
on
have
it.
the same type of relationship. Like we don't just do it because it's funny or
Kitschy and
cute.
fun.
But
And you can just
even
buy a bunch of
she,
shit.
she didn't even get it then. Like she kept kind of like if you rewatch that scene, like towards the beginning, like she's still like laughing at almost everything Sai is saying as if it's like a joke.
Yeah, she's out of touch. Even
It's
though she
just-
doesn't think that they need heat. We're a little lost here.
Out of touch.
So confusing.
It's really
Very.
confusing.
Yeah.
I need a little bit more on that. The way that she was also like piping in last episode with Jessel, and you just need to like you spice it up with your husband. I'm like, here's what I'm going to say. I think Aaron is hiding. I think we're hiding things.
There's something,
yeah.
We are hiding things, and we don't know the full truth.
She's kind of pushing this persona, this
Yeah.
like, this,
I'm getting that.
this facade.
Yeah, I'm
that
getting it.
There is more to her.
Like, why isn't the heat on?
Right.
And why didn't anybody come out and fix that?
It's surprising, yeah.
It's not that
I don't
hard.
know.
It's the Hamptons. People live there in the winters.
This is true.
Why is there no Wi-Fi? It's not to say that that equates to something, but why is she laughing at the? There's a lot of nuance here that I'm starting to collect, and I'm wondering, are we okay?
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why I want to
Yeah.
get back to New York. Let's have some individual scenes. Let's start really
Yeah, let's
figuring
do it.
out
Start
who
peeling
these
back
people
some
are.
layers of that onion.
Let's peel
Yeah.
it back and let's see people cry. I'm kidding. We finally got her to cry, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Garcelle's crying.
Garcelle, you're being vulnerable finally for the first time because your eyes are crying.
So sad.
And they're like, sorry, we didn't mean to make you cry. Yeah, you did.
Fucking.
Sorry, listeners, that we have an illness for Beverly Hills. So we just always somehow go back to Beverly Hills. Now, JJ will be forthcoming and tell you that she loves it. I will hide and say that I hate Beverly Hills, but it's like an illness, and I
don't,
always talk about
love
it.
it.
Oh, so she's
There
like,
are
she's like me.
I say love it. Like I say, like I don't know.
No, you love Beverly
Like, I
Hills.
love McDonald's, or like, I don't love, but it's just more of like a figure of speech love.
Okay.
Now you're going to have to differentiate when I say love.
Oh,
You're gonna differentiate
love.
if it means I really love or it's a figure of speech love.
Okay. I'll figure it out, I guess, along the way.
I love Kyle Richards.
Yeah, I know. You love Beverly Hills, so
Yeah, that's true.
that's what I'm saying.
No, I love Kyle Richards.
Yeah, I know.
Who do you love, EP?
On Beverly Hills.
I love like somebody or something that you love.
I love
Lindsay Lohan.
No, I love Sonia Morgan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do too.
Do you not have a different one?
Oh, I mean,
I
yeah.
don't know if I love Kyle Richards the same way I love Sonia.
Yes,
I know,
you do.
guys. I do.
You know what?
I love Dorit. I don't love Dorit, but I love Dorit. I love Sheena.
Oh, I
I
love
love
Dorit.
Sheena and I love Dorit.
Yes.
And I love the scammer Dorit.
She is such a grifter.
Scam artist.
She is such a grifter.
Scamtastic.
Guys, right before we go, I just have to quickly say this.
Uh-oh.
I saw your face you made a face, so you saw something.
Special Forces World's Toughest Test. Tom Sandoval, Tara Reid, Black China, Jojo Siwa among season 2 cast.
Oh my God.
What is this?
It's what network is it?
Probably one of the big
It's
four.
one of the big four.
It's probably
broadcasters.
Fox.
It's probably
It's like a
Fox.
Survivor type show or
Yes,
something?
and you're competing against like Marines.
Yeah.
The world's toughest.
They had kind of announced this a while back, but now it's like come up and,
Okay. Here's what I'm going to say.
Okay.
I'll take Stars on Mars with Tom Schwartz all day over
Will you?
World's Toughest with Tom Sandoval.
All right.
But Tara Reid,
I'm here to see Tara Reid, guys.
so am I. That I'd be here for.
Give me some Tara all day long. Some Tara and Carson.
I'm not watching that probably, but we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see how I feel.
Let me watch a trailer. Let me get a cut.
I might be in the gutter somewhere on Hollywood Boulevard. Boulevard of Broken Dreams.
Yeah, really.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us on this Real Housewives of New York recap. Hopefully, we'll be more excited next week.
Yeah.
We all hope it'll be a little bit more
I feel
exciting next
encouraged.
week.
I'm
Yeah.
encouraged.
Well, and if any listeners out there, if y'all are like loving it, we want to hear from you
Yeah.
Send us your DMs.
because we're open, and I want to really like it. I'm struggling. I'm really struggling
It's a
with some of this
slow-
cast.
It's a slow burn.
Yeah.
What's another show that you can remember that you really wanted to like and you just couldn't get there?
Ooh, like Bravo specific?
Or just any show, I guess. But then you got there.
Oh, but then I got there.
Mm,
Oh, I don't know.
that
think
one's
about
harder.
it.
Yeah,
I was
I-
going to say Salt Lake City seasons 2 on, but I didn't
It
get
went
there.
it went in the opposite way though.
Well,
I felt
it's
like I
funny.
was really excited about Salt Lake and I liked it, and then it went bad.
Well,
Yeah.
what's so funny is one of our listeners actually just sent us a question and they were wondering if we could answer it. So maybe if we could answer this real quick before
Okay.
we leave. How come we feel that Real Housewives of Salt Lake City got worse and worse for each season? The first season was about someone smelling like hospital.
Oh my God, that's
Second
right.
season was about Lisa and her rant, someone being indicted, friendships changing. Season 3 was about some kind of violence. Heather and her eye, yes, it was a repetitive as fuck and annoying. Abuse and friendship deteriorating. Is it from a producer's standpoint, or is it just that you guys feel as though it wasn't as light / easy / fun as you like your other seasons of Housewives to be? Ooh.
Well, I felt y'all will have to talk about the producer stuff. Because I think there's two different angles, right?
Yeah,
Like if y'all are
sure.
looking at it with y'all's producer's hat on.
Uh-huh.
Honestly, for me, I think the biggest shift was Heather. I thought Heather was so fun, so likable and authentic in her first season. She talked openly about leaving the church. I found her really, really interesting, and I really, really liked Heather. I also liked Meredith, which shifted. I liked Meredith
Yeah.
her first season. I liked her voice. I liked she and Lisa being friends. So I just felt there was a more cohesiveness to the group.
Yeah.
And then we start splitting apart the second season. I think Heather, and I'll stand by this, I think Heather, out of the entire cast, and that includes Meredith Marks, changed the most. And I think she got
Yeah.
really into being a housewife and having fans and having people write about her and being in the spotlight. And I think it changed her. I do. And the only one that has stayed true throughout the entire show is Lisa Barlow. And she's the reason that I will continue to watch the show because I love her. I think she's a star.
Yeah.
A star, you know. I was born a star, and that's
She
Lisa
really
Barlow.
was.
But
Wasn't she?
I do also think Meredith Marks changed a lot in like the limelight. And I don't know. It went from like kind of exciting and like talking about like the Mormon church, which we're not going to get on any other type of housewife show. So that was like an interesting window to just, I felt like they were kind of putting it on going forward, putting it on for the camera, second and third season more so than they were season 1. But that's me as a viewer.
Okay.
I agree with everything that Betsy just said. From a producing standpoint as well, 2 and 3 seasons, 2 and 3, because 1 I think was a pretty solid season. I think I enjoyed season 1.
Yeah.
I loved Heather. But then they started filming the show concurrently with it airing, and I think you guys have talked about this before.
That's right.
They have.
I forgot about that.
Because they want to film in the winter so that it has the snow and the visuals
And the skiing and the activities and like all that shit.
they kind of pigeonholed themselves into this production cycle of filming like February, March, March, April, something like that. And they also happen to be scheduled to air then. So when the cast is watching the show, they're reliving, they're seeing the comments on social, they're getting worked up, they're seeing interview bites from other cast members they didn't know before. It creates a really toxic filming environment, and it did for this show specifically. And what it led to be is that it felt like the feelings were all continuations from the season before. They were reductive, they were redundant, and it just was not great television.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I forgot that they filmed
While
at the
they
same
were
time it was airing. Yeah, because that does make a difference.
And that's not, I mean, I know that you guys have talked about that in the past too. But yeah, that's my take.
What do you think, JJ?
I have honestly a few things to say about it. I think that Salt Lake City, by and large, I'm not saying that it's insular, like you're in the middle of nowhere, but Salt Lake City, by and large, is very far away from anything that is very metropolitan.
Yes.
Salt Lake City's population, and I'm not talking about its metroplex, I'm just talking about the city of Salt Lake, is 200,000 people.
It's small.
Yeah.
It is very, very, very small. So what happens is everybody knows everybody's bullshit. It doesn't mean that you can't have those types of subcultures and gossip and all of those things living in New York City or living in LA and Beverly Hills or living in Miami. But there is, I think, a safeguard in knowing that you kind of can go anywhere. And in Salt Lake City, for any of you who have ever been, it's pretty barren. It's not like a big sprawling city. So if you need to get rid of housewives, who were you looking for? You know what I mean?
It's true.
And so what it felt like to me is that we just kind of had to repurpose the same housewives that I felt like weren't really necessarily working. Yes, I enjoyed Meredith Marks, her first season, but I distinctly remember before it even ended, I said, this is fun for the first season, but Meredith Marks cannot be this person season 2 or it will not work.
Like disengaging? Yeah.
And not really opening up her life and being forthcoming.
And so what happened? She was like that season 2 and she was like that season 3. And I go, why are we still doing this? And it's because I don't think that they have a large pool to pick from. It's why somebody like Lisa Barlow, who, not for nothing, yes, is a very, very, very big star in my opinion. Like she is the star of the show.
Yeah.
But she may not necessarily be seen as a star of the show if she were on another franchise, because there would be other people around her that are just as fun and, charismatic and a little like kooky and whatever. But because of the way that Salt Lake City is, and yes, I echo everything that y'all said with the filming overlapping. And so it just, it lends to the roosters were able to rule the roost and they shouldn't have been able to. The chickens were ruling the roost. And it felt very clear to me that that's what was happening. The same with Jen Shaw. I think that they bit off more than they can chew. And I think that they put all of their eggs in one basket, thinking that they were going to get this slam dunk, just amazing season with Jen Shaw and following the indictment, following all the litigious shit and all that.
Yeah.
But the court said, go fuck yourself. We're going to keep pushing. So we didn't get any of that story.
Yeah.
Instead, all we got was everybody pussyfooting around Jen Shaw, kissing the proverbial ring for a woman who's literally going to prison, who is at a prison like a hop, skip, and a jump away
Yeah.
from where I live.
Yeah.
So it's like, that to me was like, why did we do that?
Yeah.
They tried to bring in other housewives. Those housewives made up stories and the Jen Shaw Finstas. And, you know, guys, the pool is very bleak that we're pulling from. I hate to say that, but it is. It's Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
The reason why they want to stick with the snow is because that's one of the characters of the show they can't leave. Because nobody wants to watch that show in the spring.
No.
And it only be green
true.
grass. We
Yeah.
don't want to see that. Would you rather see Aspen in the spring or Aspen in the winter?
Yeah. Winter.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Totally.
So that I think it's kind of a conundrum, and I think that it's a perfect storm of little bitty things that I think overall no one, or maybe if they did think about, they weren't thinking about it significantly in the same way that I am.
Yeah.
I sound
Yeah.
like such an asshole, but do you understand what I'm saying?
No,
like all those
absolutely,
little,
yeah.
all those little bitty things that I'm talking about and y'all are bringing up, they're very small, marginal, small facets to the overall pie. But what little do we know is that those small facets all together make up what is Salt Lake City, and we're missing that, and that's where I think we fell short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Snooze.
So
Best.
for our listener, that's why. That's
Hope
why I
that
think it's
answers the
gone
question.
bad. And it's sad because it's in its third season. This is gonna have and stop comparing this to Dallas.
Who did that?
People compare this to Dallas.
No,
like
Dallas was
Dallas
bad.
is gonna go away. Like it's gonna go away like Dallas did because Dallas sucked. No.
Dallas was good.
I compare this to DC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did
Literally.
watch that.
DC, if DC had continued, I can't say these unequivocally, but I think DC would have fallen to the same entrapments that SLC is falling to now.
Agreed.
There's only so many people that you're going to be able to pull that are from that area that want to be involved in this.
Yeah.
And we do have Potomac, which is essentially the DC area, but Potomac we're really making up like 3 or 4 different regions that are very, very heavily populated.
The
So
DMV. Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia.
that is correct,
That
guys.
region, that little pocket.
So that's our answer, I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's bring back Dallas.
That's what
Seriously.
I'm saying, baby.
They're just hands.
Yeah. He got his dick sucked
Up
out
at
the
the
roundup.
But they work quite
I mean,
well.
think about it. Getting your dick sucked at a
mean-
place called the Roundup.
I mean, come on, guys.
Isn't that kind of apropos?
Yeah.
Round.
love it.
Is it a gay club
Round up.
or are you spraying pesticides? I don't
Guys,
know.
I don't know, but the neighborhood in Dallas used to be my stomping grounds in college. Just saying. Anyway. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us on this week's recap of Real Housewives of New York City,
Hampton's version.
or as we like to colloquially call it, Real Housewives of our discontent. That's where I would like to go. No heat, no water, no food. Elements, guys. Elements.
The
All right,
elements.
guys. Thank you for joining us. Please rate us 5 stars. Leave us a review. We love to hear from you. Look, see how that rhymed? And if you're feeling up to it, donate a cocktail. We're broke.
Yeah.
We
None of us
need
are
it.
working. The industry's imploding. By all means, please, if you'd like to donate a cocktail to give towards our addiction that we're going to
Develop.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We're going to develop our addictions out of this time of unemployment, please.
And we need you.
yeah, we
Yeah,
do.
we need your help.
We
need your
have
help.
we have no sanctions. We have no support. We have no one.
But you.
Exactly. But
No,
you.
no pressure.
No pressure. All right, guys. Thank you again for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.